Hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. In this pick a card reading, we're going to be looking at the new opportunities that await you in this next chapter of your life. I'm Bree with Cosmic Siren, and I help quirky and curious souls trust their intuition, express their truth, and embody their beautifully unique selves so that they can open themselves up to the life and soulmate connections that they've always envisioned for themselves. This is a very safe space. All are very welcome. You can just think of me as your nerdy, witchy siren friend that just wants to help you live life to the tune of your soul. To get into specifics, we'll be looking at the current energies and summary of your current closing chapter. We'll look at the summary of your next chapter and the energies coming in. And more specifically, we'll look at your career, studies, financial. We'll look at your health. We'll look at your spiritual expansion. And then we'll look at your relationships. And I broke it down between platonic, familial, and like romantic sexual relationships. And then we'll just look at some closing messages from your spirit guides. You have 4 piles to choose from. For pile 1, we have green Adventurine. For pile 2, we have blue lace Agate. For pile 3, I don't remember what this is, but it's pink. And pile 4, we have red Carnelion, red Jasper, something like that. And I will reveal the cards in your groups because this is the energies of your current closing chapter. So you can choose based on the card, you can choose based on the gemstone. Either way, take all the time that you need. And when you're ready, I'll get started with group number 1. Hey, group 1, if you chose this group, you chose green Adventurine. And let's reveal your card. The Sun. So this will be the summary of your current closing chapter, and I'm just going to pull a couple oracle cards. Oh God, that like shot out. We have I am supported, I am blessed. And let's pull one more. Okay. We have Dream and Touch. Oh, there's a lot of cards here. Okay, let me just move this away. Oh, say hi to Elle. Okay. Okay, it looks like group 1, your current closing chapter was very great, very radiant, very exciting. Oops. With the Sun, the energies that you're coming away from your current chapter, it seems like you were in a position where you were being really seen, whether that's in public view, it doesn't have to be, but it can be, but you're being very seen for who you authentically are, which could be in some type of social setting, social situation, social media, something like that. But feeling very aligned with where you're going. We have I am blessed and I'm supported here. So this chapter that you're moving away from is going to be very supportive for you as you're coming into this next chapter, because you're standing in the light, you're stepping into your power, you're feeling very supported in general by the people around you, the energies around you, whatever you believe in, you know, divinely supported and guided. And you're being very, very grateful and blessed for this, right? Very thankful about all the opportunities. So if you're in this group, you can take this as an energy check. So if this is resonating with you, then move forward. If it's not, you might want to choose a different group. But if you're here, this chapter that you're closing has been a very like high attainment, high level for you. We even have Dream here. Let your mind wander, explore, and create. Imagination is boundless and abundant. And we have Touch. Connect to your senses and feel safe and grounded. So whatever you did in this last chapter, you were very connected with your body, you were connected with your feelings, and that's why I say there must be some social recognition, because you are aligned with your dreams, you followed your dreams, right? This last chapter, you were in a position where you were able to support your passions, go after what you wanted. It's just like a very overall straightforward, positive energy. Like this may feel like you don't want this chapter to close, right? Not that it's closing forever, like we continue, right? We're building, but this is like a great space, right? This isn't the type of situation where you were feeling drained, you're questioning yourself that you want to close it to get to the next one. This is like a very supportive and like you've been building this and this will help you onto the next chapter. So I'm really excited to see what the next chapter is bringing you because you're already at an amazing great start. So I feel like this is just going to be more about expanding yourself, continuing forward. And since you were attracted to this green adventuring, something with the heart chakra, maybe, this does seem more focused on you, right? Leo the sun, more focused on you in terms of, you're following your dreams, your passions, you're doing what makes you feel good, which is perfect. With the green adventuring, opening up your heart chakra, maybe in this next chapter, it'll be more about connecting with others, whether that's collaborating or friendship, soulmates, family, or just like opening your heart more. All right, let's look at the energy of this next chapter coming in. I'm very excited to see. And let me grab my other tarot deck. And these colors are very summery. So depending on when you're watching this, this is a timeless reading, but right now we're in September 2024, which is like, end of summer. Fall will be coming soon, but it's very like, pinks and oranges, very light colors. So maybe this past summer season was very supportive for you. And Leo was just in August, so that would make sense. All right, let's look at the summary of your next chapter. This chapter you're coming into now. Summary of your next chapter you're coming into. Okay. We have Ace of Swords in reverse. Pull some orc cards. Oh, there's a lot here. Okay, it's fine. I am safe. I have permission. I am unbreakable. Hold. And we're going to pull an Ocean Dream Oracle, and I might read from the guidebook from this one. Okay. Protection. Okay. Put this together. Okay, let's talk about these. Let's start with protection first. And I'll read from the guidebook. Right off the bat, though, when I look at all these cards, it does look like it's interesting because maybe because you, depending on what this is, you've been in the light more, maybe you're attracting a lot of people, a lot of eyes, you're going after your dreams, you're feeling very supported. There is this with these cards, this next chapter, it's like focusing on yourself and your energy, grounding yourself. Like there's this energy of you want to keep going based on what you've had for yourself. This is a good support, right? This is a good thing to build off of, but it's almost as if there's something about keep going, don't stop, but also like connect with your feelings and protect your energy. It's like This chapter was focused more on stepping into your authentic self, going after your dreams, and feeling supported. And now that you're doing all that and probably gaining recognition and seeing eyes, and maybe like all these opportunities are coming in, all these connections, it's like this idea of protecting your energy and yourself because, yes, you want to step into who you are and express yourself, but also not everyone deserves to be in your energy, right? So protecting yourself, connecting with your feelings, keep going, don't stop, still be vulnerable and share yourself. But since here in protection, it's like, this person's alone, they're in water. So, connecting with water, water is very good at cleansing, but just getting into a routine space where you're connecting with yourself. Because Sun, Leo energy, in the eyes, right? Whether you're connecting with a lot of people, helping a lot of people, but here, putting in that time and intention of connecting with your own energy, being alone. So let's read what this protection is. Energetic boundaries, personal space, cutting cords, soul contracts. I am divinely protected. My energy is sacred. A calm and crystalline tidal pool shares a warm space of relaxation and serenity. This is a blissful refuge where you can be alone with your thoughts, far away from any external feedback or noise. Here you can rest into your energetic brilliance and replenish your vitality at your own comfortable pace. Taking care of our own energy is a crucial component of self-care, and there are many ways to support this practice. It is also important that we are able to comfortably safeguard our boundaries, our time, and what we allow into our personal space each day. Yeah, there's more, but I just read this part. There's a lot more, but that's a perfect summary of what I was already saying. So yes, there is this important, in this next chapter, it's yes, this previous chapter that you're coming out of, you've expressed yourself, you're coming out in the light, you're bringing in all these opportunities, these people, following your dreams. And because of that, now it's time to be very focused and pay attention to your energy, your boundaries. And that makes sense with I have permission and I am safe. I'm safe here as Cancer as well. You want to make sure it's this message of creating like an energetic shield around you, right? Depending on what your practices are, what you do. For example, like every morning, I place like a golden pyramid shield. I just imagine, source energy coming down on me. I imagine a golden pyramid around me, it filling up. And then I imagine myself pushing the pyramid out and saying, I release all energy that doesn't serve me, right? And then in my pyramid, right, that energy is safe, that energy is protected, that energy is sacred, which is what this is saying. And with Cancers, the crab, they do have that protective shell so that they can protect their feelings, protect their emotions, right? You want to create a space for yourself, a home environment where you're very at peace and clear with yourself. Especially with this hold, is there a thought or feeling that's asking for your attention? Can you hold it gently and ask for it what it needs? And this is very important. This connects well with the Cancer as well and the protection. Making sure, because you're in this space, because you're in this light, because you are exposing yourself to a lot of people and energies, it's very important that you have some type of routine or connection with yourself. Hopefully, in the day, daily, even if it's just for a little bit, but just connecting with your body, your emotions, saying, how am I feeling? And also, when you're connecting with all these new people and energies and situations and opportunities, being with yourself so that you can discern if the opportunity, if the person, whatever the situation is aligned with you, right? If you're getting more recognition, being out there and people are offering you things, it's important that you don't immediately say yes or no, right? That you acknowledge it and say like, yeah, I'll get back to you, whatever that means. And then getting your own energy and really feel through whether this is actually a yes or a no for you, right? Because you only want to accept yeses. The energy of yes and no is very important. Keep pivoting toward your yes, keep living in your yes. And when you do that, as you have been with these opportunities, you will get to the life that you envision for yourself, right? And with the Ace of Swords in reverse, there does need to be some type of this message of clarity. Clarity in the type of life you envision yourself, which means how do you want to see yourself? What types of people do you want to surround yourself with, right? We're the sum of the 5 people that we hang out with the most. What types of people and energies do you want to surround yourself with? What do you want to show the world? For the sun, right? You're in the sun. Everyone can see you, right? You're on eyes. How do you want people to see you? What do you want to embody? Like, how do you want to show up for others? How do you want people to view you? And it's not saying like, it's really important how other people see you and that you should go by that. It's more of like, how are you feeling? Because depending on your answer to those questions, that will inform or kind of pivot you toward the opportunities that you accept, toward the people that you connect with, right? And this message just came through. It's very important. This message just came through. It was like, it is important who you connect with, because it was this message of, there are many opportunities, right, and situations and people, and some people may accept opportunities because, they seem really amazing, and they might not necessarily maybe like the person that's giving them the opportunity, like what they stand for, but the opportunity itself would be quote unquote good for them. It's this message of, it is very important if you like the person that's giving you the opportunity, right? This is this energy of, yes, it's what do they stand for? Because you will be connected with that, right? People will see that you are connected to that person, connected to their values. And that's very important, right? So that was a message for somebody. And for this I am unbreakable, it seems like as you're in this, coming out of this chapter of being in the limelight, it's important when you're continuing to build, continuing this energy, that you also express yourself vulnerably, right? Like, choose, discern what you want to share with others, right? Not everyone needs to know what's happening in your life, but there is this message that you have been through situations, you've been through hardships, as we all are, but there's specific hardships or situations that you've been through that you have been able to not even over, I don't, the word overcome is interesting. It's more like you integrate it into your life, right? Whatever situation that you've had in your past that have maybe, cause some trauma, cause some pain, cause some scars, but you wear it very beautifully, right? You've healed it, right? It doesn't hurt anymore. The scars don't hurt, right? It left a scar because it was so impactful on your life, but it's no longer hurting, right? It's healed. It doesn't affect you moving forward on how you move forward in life, but it is a part of your life, right? You accept all of you. It's important that this is just a message for some of you, that it's important that you accept all of your experiences, right? There's no wrong, there's no right, just aligned. And our experiences are who we are, right? And it's made you who you are today. So just this message of, keep going, express your truth, be authentic, embody like everything that has made you who you are, and share some of those things with the world, because people will connect with that. Okay, great. I love that energy. Let's look at specifics now. We're going to look at your career, financial studies, which is, I feel like this is what it's talking about. So let's look more into that. And I'll just pull one tarot and one oracle card for that. All right, for this next chapter for group 1, any specific messages about their career, financials? Okay, there's too many cards here. There's like 4. I'm going to reshuffle that. If they were facing up, I would have maybe taken them, but... So group 1, career, financials for this next chapter. Oh my gosh, that just flew everywhere. So we have 8 of chalices. Let's see, where can I put this? I'll just put it on top, I guess. And we'll take an oracle card for your career, studies, financials for this next chapter. Group 1, career, financials. Okay. I am unique and only I can do what I do. It has the DNA strand. Nice. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about this 8 of Cups. So for career, studies, finances, it's interesting. So yes, whatever this is, this chapter that you're coming out of, it seems as if you've, a couple messages here. For some of you, yes, this is taking you somewhere else. This is taking you on a new path, a new destination, like physically, like literally moving somewhere. Some of you. For others of you, it's more of this, because of this, like whether you were building this slowly or it just came about super fast, right? it is shifting you on this new path, this new timeline, right? You had a life, right? I mean, you still have a life, but you had a life with certain relationships, certain views, certain values, how you viewed yourself, how you lived. You're in this position though of moving of out of that, right? You're into this new path. Whatever this is for you, it's pushed you, right? It's shifted you. You can't go back to who you were now. You've changed, right? She's now human. This is Little Mermaid. She's changed. She's on a new path. She has a goal in sight, right? The castle. She has a goal in sight. She knows where she wants to go. And this is you. Oh, hold on. There's an ambulance. Okay, we're done. Also, take that ambulance as confirmation because when the ambulance went by, I was imagining, oh, it's still going. Whatever. But when the ambulance goes by, you can hear it, right? You can see it. And then, there's a little bit of delay, but then a bunch of cars start following the ambulance because it's a clear path now. But it just reminded me that you know where you want to go. You have a dream in mind, right? You have a vision for yourself. You've been following it. You've been supported. You've been getting recognition. And now you have a goal in mind. You have a dream and you're following that sign, right? You're following that siren, right? And only you can hear the siren. No one else can hear the siren. So others, while they're supporting you, right? No one else can tell you like what you should do, what the next step is, because only you have the goal, right? Only you have the vision. Only you can hear the siren. So this is like confirmation for your career, finances, that you are on this path of really like shifting your life completely. Like you're going to be in a new space, a new place, like physically, yes, but also just where you are in life, right? Like for example, the Little Mermaid, when we'll talk about Disney's Little Mermaid, the Hans Christian Andersen one's a little different and sadder, but in this one, she leaves her life, which is happy. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But she leaves her life and there's this new life, right? She goes to a castle. It's in a new land. It's new opportunities. It's in a completely different space, right? And that's what this is about your career, financial studies. It's like your finances, your career, your livelihood. It's going to be in a very, very different place. But you already see that. You already know. It's just like this shift. That's why I said shifting timelines. It's like you may not have before realized this new world out there, right? Whatever this is, it's bringing you up. Kind of like I heard social ladder. Like it might be bringing you up the social ladder. It might be bringing you up in maybe like a different bracket, right? A financial bracket. But this is important though because it is aligned with where you want to go. We did get the Eight of Cups. It is aligned with what you want to do. It is aligned with your passions, which is very exciting. And then we have this card, the I am unique and only I can do what I do. Yes, that's perfect. That's beautiful. Whatever this is, like this is for you. That's what I'm saying. Like you are different. You are unique. You have certain experiences that only you have gone through. You look different, whatever that means. You talk differently. Your energy is at a very specific frequency, right? And because it is at a specific frequency, not a lot of people will look like you, right? And so this is just another message again of keep doing what you're doing. Don't compare yourself to others. The reason why other people are successful and that they're different than you is because they're standing in who they are, right? So just be careful and stay true to who you are. You have a very specific frequency, and there's people that need that frequency. This message coming through is I did this tarot reading before. I was channeling messages for the week. And it was this message of I saw Beetlejuice recently and Tim Burton, right? Tim Burton, very specific vibe, right? Like that dark fantasy weirdo vibe. Like I love that, right? He has a very specific view and he's not like a lot of other people, right? If he had never directed because he compared himself to other people, we wouldn't have got like this amazing dark creepy things, right? So that's what I'm just saying, like be you, because your unique combination of whatever your interests are, however you are, is needed for people. All right, great. Let's look at your health. This is just in general, mental, emotional, physical health, any messages that want to come through. I'll be taking a tarot and oracle card. All right, health for group 1 for this next chapter. Any messages? All right, and let me go get my oracle deck. Okay. Okay, I'm very sad right now because my alarm went off after meditate and I didn't realize I wasn't recording. So I said all these messages for this and this. So we're just gonna go back. I'll just repeat what I said. So sad. Okay. Let me just Okay. So when I pulled these cards, what I immediately got, whenever I get the Page of Swords, I immediately get balance between divine feminine and divine masculine. And I don't know why I always get that for the Page of Swords. You know, this person, this trainee, they're being taught, to work with clear intentions. They're training on this sword, and swords can be harmful, so you have to be very careful with your intentions. But this trainee, while still holding on to that belief, is also more interested in this butterfly, right? They're interested in transformation. They're interested in creativity. They're interested in being inspired, right? They're holding out their hand, right? They're being loving. It's this balance between divine feminine and masculine. And also it's this idea of holistic health, right? Like looking at all parts of you, right? There's nutrition, what you take into your body, there's physical movement, right? There's mental and emotional health. It's just this message of balancing between all those areas, right? You don't want to get too hyper focused on one area or not. But for you, since we did get these messages of feelings, connecting with yourself, and connecting with those energies, that do or don't serve you, that makes sense also with meditate. The self care activity, meditate, to help you connect with your thoughts, connect with your body, so that you can be a conscious observer, right, of your thoughts. You can see like what type of thoughts are you having throughout the day? Are these limiting beliefs and fears that are constantly going through your mind? Or are they empowering, right, supportive thoughts? And there's different types of meditation, right? You don't have to just sit there with your eyes closed. If that doesn't work for you, you can be awake. You can do a walking meditation. You can do some art meditation. You can work with music. There's different ways to meditate. It's more about connecting with yourself and being intentional and just observing to see like what you're thinking, what you're feeling. And also withhold, because I mentioned before, I believe, about all these opportunities coming in and these people. Meditating will also help you, like when those opportunities and people do come in, being by yourself so that you can really understand whether or not this is a yes or no for you, right? Whether or not this opportunity you feel like a yes or no, right? So your health in general looks very, very good for this next chapter. It's just messages about balancing and really prioritizing your mental and emotional health. And that will help you as you're coming into all these opportunities, all these situations, right? And I don't think I touched on this card too much. It was within everything else, but giving yourself permission to speak your feelings, to speak your truth, to connect with your emotions, right? We do have the moon here and 22. So yes, about relationships, about connection. I have permission that whatever I'm feeling is my feelings, right? I'm valid, right? I'm allowed to feel how I feel. I have permission to feel this way. I have permission to connect with myself, and I have permission to say no if it doesn't feel aligned, right? Only you know that, right? Only you know if it feels aligned or not. And I was pulling cards for your spiritual expansion, and we got Nine of Chalices, the Wish card, which is so exciting. And then we have I am open to receive. So for this Wish card, this is just so beautiful. So if you haven't seen Princess Tutu, this just reminds me of Princess Tutu. Go watch Princess Tutu. It's an anime. But there's this duck that really wants to do ballet, and she transforms into a ballerina to dance, right? This is the ultimate wish. She's dancing. She's a ballerina. She's in front of the full moon. She's completely herself. These flowers also remind me of Land Before Time, the fourth movie, those flowers that bloom at night. It's just like beautiful, rare, being in perfect alignment with everything, right? With your dreams, inspiration, your higher self, your physical body. It's just like everything is coming together so beautifully because you're open to receive, right? It's this spiritual concept that all of your dreams, all of your desires, all of your wishes can come true, will come true, right? Will come true, not can, they will. Because whatever you desire, whatever you like really desire and dream about, whatever keeps you up at night, whatever constantly plays in your mind, whatever gets you really excited, that's meant for you, right? And you're coming into this spiritual realization, this spiritual concept, or this vibrational energy that I am receiving everything that I wish for because I deserve to, right? Because it's meant for me, right? We co-create with the universe. Everything that we want is meant for us, right? Since you're coming into this light, whatever these opportunities and people are, you're also coming to the understanding that you do deserve to receive this, right? For some people, it can be hard, like, oh, I don't deserve this, like, humble me, I can't deserve. No, you do deserve it because you're amazing. You're unique, You're beautiful, you're amazing, you have so many gifts to offer, whatever it is, you have so much to share. You deserve everything that you're receiving, right? And that's a powerful spiritual concept, realization, energy to understand and embody. Okay. Let's look at your relationships. So we're going to start first on your more platonic relationships, familial, whatever that looks like for you. Because, everyone's relationships look different. Some people's platonic relationships looks like others' romantic relationships, what have you. I was just trying to kind of try to categorize them just for different details and specifics, because whenever I put them all together, there's all these threads that I have to read, which is fine. This will be a little bit easier to narrow down. All right, so messages for platonic relationships in this next coming chapter. Okay, oops. And I'm going to pull one more card because that one came out. Messages for platonic relationships. Okay. Yeah, okay, so similar. Sorry it's so messy. Can you see? Anyway. All right, messages for platonic relationships. Next chapter. Oh my gosh. All right. We're going to reshuffle. Everything just came out here. There's a lot. I really like this energy of this group. It's just, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of messages that want to come through. It's very like elevated, supportive, high energy. It's making me feel really good. All right. Messages about platonic relationships. Okay. So this is for platonic. We'll just do it in the middle so you can see. All right, we'll focus on these. So we got the 5 of Wands in reverse, the Hermit in reverse, and then we got strings. Yes, so this is interesting. This goes back to, it's this energy again about boundaries and discerning who you want to be around you. With the 5 of, let's start with the Hermit. This is a major arcana. This is a big concept for you to learn. Message that's coming through for you to learn, but with Hermit energy, usually, you're going inside yourself, introspection, on a journey, maybe physically also being a hermit, discerning what energies need to be around you, protecting yourself, right? Putting up a barrier. But with it in reverse, and then with this lantern, it's also, like I said, the lantern, like being guided by your yes energy, right? Being guided by your intuition, right? Being guided by your staff on what feels good for you, right? Whatever feels good is it, right? It's not that complicated. It's depending on the situation, people can make it complicated, right? But with food, it's so easy. You either like it or you don't, right? You're like, yes, I want to eat this. No, I don't. But then when it comes to people and relationships, people start getting confused. But it's the same concept of, does this feel good or not, right? It's either a yes or a no. And maybes are a no. We can make it a yes if there's certain boundaries in place. But that's what this message is about. It's since you're in this position of being in the open and connected to all these people and situations, it's just a message of, just if you need to connect with yourself, meditate. If you need to reserve your energy, go do it, right? Just go by what feels good to you. You don't have to isolate yourself and go to a cabin or a little cottage if you don't want to. You can, but there is ways to have this hermit energy a little bit throughout your day, just so you can discern for yourself how you're feeling, the energies that are around you. And coupled with the 5 of Wands, it's also this, there's going to be a lot of chatter. There's going to be a lot of energies. There's going to be a lot of people, a lot of perspectives, telling you what they think you should do, right? What they think would be good for you. There'll be a lot of eyes, and I don't want to say a lot of judgments, but people will be watching you, right? They'll be thinking certain things about how you say things and how you do things, right? And they all have their own opinions, which is fair. But It is this energy of just be careful and don't let these other outside influences stall you from flying, from shining, from being who you are, right? From connecting with the people and situations that you need to connect with, right? Because you need to discern who you want to listen to, right? You can listen to friends and family, but at the end of the day, you're the one that has to live your life, right? At the end of the day, you're the only person that's in your thoughts and feelings. You're the only one that is connected to your inspiration and what makes you happy. So it's just this message again of just be careful, protect your energy, you know, find little moments of solitude, and don't let anyone stop you from doing what you believe in, right? You're unique. Only you can do what you do. You're following your dreams, right? You have permission to speak your truth, speak your feelings, and feel the way you do, and just protect yourself with your boundaries, right? Hold space for your feelings. And especially with strings, this for strings, this is interesting. It goes well with these two. This idea of like, you know, you are this hand, right? This galaxy spiritual hand, right? You're connected with energies and things outside of yourself, right? And this would be like inspiration that you're following, right? You're creating something here, this magical fire, and this is what you're giving to the world, right? And it's like this balance of being connected to who you are, your inspiration, your higher self, and this is like your physical self with the strings, where it's trying to like manipulate the fire a little bit or manipulate how this turns out. There is this balance, this message of balance of, yes, you are a human, you are in the 3D, you're living this 3D life, and it is important that you balance your human reality, right, with your dreams, desires, inspiration, higher self. And what that means is it needs to come together in this 9 of chalices, right? In the physical, she's dancing. I say she, it doesn't matter who you are. But in the physical, she's dancing, right? She has these physical human items like a dress and shoes that support her and help her in order to dance, right? Her body is moving. This is her physical body. She's in alignment, feeling inspired, right? By her higher self, by creativity, whatever, love, right? And it comes together to create this experience, to create the magic, right? She's embodying who she is. She's not letting the shoes and dress wear her. She's wearing the shoes and dress because it feels aligned and inspired. It's like, right, wear that outfit. Don't let the outfit wear you. It's like there's this, I'm trying to share this concept because this is just a message coming through. I haven't looked at it like this before, but it's like there is a balance, right? You don't want your human self to manipulate everything out of fear, right? You don't want to like constantly control something, right? You don't want to ever control the outcome, right? You're just enjoying the ride. It's more as if this inspiration, this fire, is the one moving the strings, right? Yes, that is what it is. It's this fire, this inspiration, this product, this desire, this dream of yours is being supported, right? By your higher self, by what you're connected to, by your inspiration, by your feelings. It's supporting it. And then your human self is intuitively feeling this energy, this fire, and the strings are moving your human body in order to align with it. Yes. I hope you understand that. I'm getting chills. Oh my God. Anyway, so that was the message for that. I mean, this was supposed to be, more specific about relationships, but clearly, that was a message that came through just in general about your whole life. And also, this also goes though with relationships and with connections, right? It's this idea again of when you're making these connections and these relationships, these platonic relationships, right? And that could be soulmates, right? Because unconditional love is unconditional love. It's not romantic, it's not platonic, it's expansive, right? So love can be all around in these relationships, but it's this idea of in relationships as well as don't control the outcome, right? Just connect with the person, connect with the energies, see like how things ebb and flow, and let things be, right? Let things embody themselves. Just let things be. Because when we start trying to control the outcome, we start getting anxious, we start questioning ourselves, we start asking, why is this person acting that way? And then we're not accepting the reality of our situation. So, okay, let's look at the last part of your reading, which is we're going to look at your romantic relationship, sexual, whatever resonates for you more, right? If you're even looking for romantic or sexual, right? You don't have to be. So let's just read into it. And if you're not, that's fine. That's respectful. Open your heart, though, to any connection, right? It doesn't have to be romantic. All right, let's look at group ones, next sexual message, this next chapter in your life. Okay. And we'll pull. So we got the 4 of coins, and we'll pull a card. And we have chemistry. Okay, so this is just, maybe I can just combine them because this is the same thing. This is literally just outlining everything I already said in a different way. So even in your romantic partnerships or sexual partnerships, whatever, 4 coins, this is all about reserving energy, reserving your resources, and discerning, right? Being careful, being very careful with who you allow into your life. So since we are talking about romantic sexual, let's just say, like, obviously in platonic relationships, still discern. Romantic sexual, I don't think people realize it's like, you know, when you connect with someone very intimately, physically, for example, like that is an energy exchange, right? There's energy exchange with a lot of things. It doesn't have to be sexual, but there is an energy exchange. And so, obviously live your best life. If you want to go out and about and you enjoy that, do that. There's also, though, this message of, you really are amazing. Your energy is really amazing. Your body is a temple. Treat it as such. That doesn't mean be a prude. It just means be very selective with who gets to be around you, right? Because the energy that you're giving to others is very supportive, very uplifting, very magical, right? It's not always the other way around. You want to pay attention to the chemistry, how you guys interact, right? And chemistry, you can't force chemistry, right? Chemistry is either there or not. But there is this idea or message of everyone will be different in how they interact with your energy. How do I explain this? If you were a color, which you are, I like to think about people as colors, right? Let's say you're blue, right? You are a blue color, whatever that means. And then you start meeting people. There could be yellows, there could be reds, there could be anything, right? When you connect with these people, connect with these colors, there's another energy that is formed, right, by your connection, right? So if you're connecting with like a yellow color, like it forms green, whatever that means to you. If you're connecting with a red color, it forms purple, whatever that means to you. But the chemistry, the way things connect with each other, the way things interact, the way things react with each other will be very different for each person. Only you can decide whether that reaction chemistry feels good to you, right? You know intuitively if it feels good, if you like the outcome, right? Because sometimes some people, for whatever reason, when we connect with them, when our energies connect and interact with each other, it doesn't feel good. And it's okay to just go by that. You don't have to understand why. You don't have to say like, oh, maybe I'm overthinking it. No, it just doesn't feel good. It's just the energies, right? There's no right or wrong. It's just aligned or not, right? If I don't connect with someone, I don't force it. I'm like, you know what? It's just not aligned. I don't know why. It's just not aligned. And I trust that, right? I trust the energy. So there is this message of just trust the energy, trust the chemistry. Not everyone, not everything will be able to connect with you on a high soulmate level and make you feel good. And that's okay, right? You don't have to figure out why. You can if you want, but you don't have to. It can be just because. You don't have to force yourself to be in some situation or dynamic for weeks, months, years on end just because you're trying to figure out why you feel this way. No, you can just trust it. Don't dismiss your feelings, right? Connect with your intuition. Don't let yourself be ruled by ego. Don't dismiss your feelings and trust yourself, right? I am launching a course on how to trust yourself. It guides you step by step on the energy behind yes and no, so you can figure that out for yourself. The difference between your intuition and your ego, how to connect with your inner child and your feelings, how to heal some patterns to support you on your highest timeline. All of these things open yourself up to the connections that you've always envisioned for yourself, the life that you always envisioned for yourself. So if you're interested in that, I will link the course below. Just put in your email and I will notify you when it launches and I'll give you access to the pre-sale price. But if you want to quantum shift your life, this is how you do that. All right. Very, very beautiful group one. Let's close out with the herbiary deck. And I have been reading from the guidebook for this one. Just messages from your higher self for this next chapter, closing messages. And we have Resurrection, California Poppy. Ooh, look how beautiful. There's this owl on a branch, some flowers, and then we have a moon. Okay, let's read. California Poppy. Sometimes the day needs to disappear so you can sink into the lush blackness of night. Sometimes your eyes, whether open or shut, need the inky darkness of forgetting. Golden Poppy lives in both sun and shadow. She opens her petals in daylight and closes them when night comes, giving in easily, knowing resurrection will come with the dawn. It's okay to sleep without dreaming. Poppy soothes. To fall deep and far. Have no fear. Day will come, and you'll once again stretch and unfurl. Meeting your nighttime self. As you let go of artificial light and step into true dark, observe yourself. Do your thoughts change when you're in true dark? Are your movements different? Do you find yourself wanting to be more truthful or less? Do you find yourself wanting to be more sensual or less? What is the rhythm of your conversations when the light is low? Are you wanting sleep earlier than usual? This is your nighttime self, a self you may have rarely met. Breathe into her and see how she complements the daytime self you know so well. And that is a beautiful message for you, Sun. To embrace your night, to embrace, this ebb and flow of yourself, to embrace the moon, to embrace your feelings, to embrace the quiet, right? All right, my groups ones, thank you so much for connecting with me. If anything resonated for you, please comment down below so I know how it worked out in your life. And I would love to continue connecting with your energy for the collective readings. So please continue subscribing, like, or comment. And as always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'm sending you warm wishes and soothing hums. Hey, group two, if you pick this group, Blue Lace Agate, this will be your reading. And let's reveal the current energy, or the energy of your current closing chapter. Oh, the Lovers, all right. And then I'm going to pull 2 oracle cards. And you can take this as the energy check for this group. If you are resonating with the messages for the summary of the current closing chapter you're on, then continue. If not, you might want to choose another group. All right, the summary of the current closing chapter for 2. Just popped right out. I am authentic. And a little bit more here. Touch. Did this come out with the first group? This might have. Well, I don't remember. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about this. So it's interesting you got the Lovers. I was thinking of connection when I saw the card, and also Blue Lace Agate for throat chakra. This is about communication. The Lovers is Gemini, which is also about communication, so that's very interesting. And we have I am authentic, which is Leo. But for the current energies of the chapter you're on right now that's closing, it is this idea of connection. Now, for some of you, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. For some of you, you were in a relationship, partnership, whatever dynamic that is. It can be platonic, romantic, or otherwise, where you were learning to step into who you are, be yourself, and how to communicate your thoughts and feelings more expressively. That's not a word. Is that a word? Expressively. To express your thoughts and feelings more honestly, right? More openly. It's as if in the past, not this chapter, but it's as if in the past, maybe you are molding yourself to fit someone's ideals of what you wanted to be. You were disconnected from who you were, right? And you were hiding yourself. But it seems like in this most recent chapter that you're building on, that you're coming out of, you were in a relationship that was able to teach you to love yourself, right? As you authentically are, to express yourself fully, right? Even physically, right? Like maybe you were stepping into hair colors, jewelry, facial piercings. It doesn't have to be, but just expressing and embracing who you are more physically to match, what's on the inside. And this relationship or connection also made you feel safe within yourself, right? You're able to connect with yourself, give yourself the love you need to feel grounded. And this is a very, very specific message for like some of you. So this won't be for everyone, but it's also this idea of coming back to feeling comfortable with touch. So whether or not your love language is touch or your partner or relationship dynamic love language was touch, but there is this sense or idea for some of you of not feeling very safe in touch, whether that's you expressing yourself or whether that's receiving. But it seems like this last relationship, partnership, whatever, was able to help you be more comfortable with how you express yourself physically through touch, through affection. It doesn't have to be sexual, just, in general, it could be, but also just expressing yourself on the outside for who you are and like shining your heart out, right? Feeling loved and valued for who you are, connecting with what's on the inside, right? It's not about what's on the outside per se, but what's on the inside, and using that to connect, right? Seeing each other clearly, seeing each other for your heart. Oh, that's so beautiful. So that's the chapter you're coming out of, which is really very supportive, very loving, very warm and exciting. So I'm excited to see what this next chapter is going to bring. And this isn't like closing as if it's bad, right? No, we're moving along in the story. This is just where you're coming out of. So that's very beautiful. All right, let's look at the summary of the next chapter so we can look more into that. All right, let's look into the summary of the next chapter for group 2. Summary of the next chapter for group 2. The Ace of Swords and the Sun. That is so interesting. So group 1, the summary of their closing chapter was the Sun. In this deck, though, this is a different deck. And then the summary for their next chapter that they're coming into was the Ace of Swords in reverse. So it's interesting that you got both of these here. So if you were connected to group 1 at all, you could watch that. Okay. And then let me pull some oracle cards. Summary of the next chapter group 2 is coming into. Okay. We have I am divinely guided. All right, summary of the next chapter group 2 is coming into. Reframe. Have you been looking at a situation through only one lens? Do you feel stuck? Let's shake this up. Okay. This is very interesting. It's as if it's like it's a little, the energies are similar to group 1. It's just a little reverse. So for example, group 1, they were in the Sun, they were following their passions, their desires, and that was their chapter, and it was leading them through the next, right? And then for you, you're coming into finally embracing who you are, finally expressing yourself for who you are because you were hiding before, connecting with what makes you feel comfortable, loving yourself, right? Expressing yourself, and now you are coming more into the Sun. You are now going to be showing yourself, whether that means publicly to the world, to just the people around you. It's just that you're not hiding anymore. You're showing yourself, right? Yeah, show yourself. What was that? Frozen 2. Go watch that. And then Disney references, because I haven't divinely guided. This makes me think of Pocahontas and Mulan together. I think of Pocahontas because of the compass, but this looks like Mulan. And, Pocahontas is divinely guided, uses her intuition, nature, the spirits, to move herself forward, to find her own path, right? And Mulan did that as well, right? It didn't matter like what wasn't okay, what people said she couldn't or couldn't do. She followed what she believed was right? She followed her heart. She followed what felt like a yes for her, right? And we have that with the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is about clear intention, right? We have this sword with the crown, because when you have very clear intention, like a clear intention behind your goal, the clear intention behind your why you're doing something, you will always get the crown. You will always achieve it. This is literally yes energy. A very clear path. Like, what is it that I want and why? And that makes sense with this. Like, before, if you were hiding, if you weren't expressing yourself, and now this chapter, you've come in to love yourself, express yourself, that means you're listening to yourself, right? More. You're listening to your intuition. You're listening to what feels good, right? And now you're coming more into the sun. You're coming more into expressing yourself. You're not hiding yourself. You're coming more into wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard for who you authentically are, right? Because you can't, with the sun like illuminates everything, right? You can't hide from the sun. Everyone can see you. And we have this either raven or crow here. Is it a three-headed? I mean, not three-headed. Are crows the ones with three legs, or is it ravens? Well, it's a three-legged crow or something. But that symbol to me is also being divinely guided, right? Following your spirit guides, following your intuition, following for you what is true. And so for this next chapter of your life, this is great to have the support of being authentic, expressing who you are, because now this next chapter of your life is literally following your own inner compass, following your intuition, following what's yes. So it's as if your life now is going to start shifting. It's like, I think I told the first group, it's shifting timelines, because when you live in this yes energy, when you start pivoting toward your yes, when you're showing up for how you are, when you're believing in yourself, your inner compass is your soul tune, right? I said follow the tune to your soul. That's your intuition, right? You are using your intuition as your inner compass, right? It's that yes energy. When you constantly live in the yes, when you make choices and decisions in yes, when you allow certain people into your life because it feels like a yes, right? When you accept opportunities because it feels like a yes, whenever you decide whatever it is that you want to do because it feels like a yes, that is how your life shifts and transforms, when you have very clear intention. And so for this next chapter of your life, you're shifting timelines. You're coming away from living in a no energy right before this, living in a no and hiding yourself and not being yourself and not feeling good, right? This relationship, this connection, and it could be multiple, right? And again, it could be friend, partner, whatever, taught you to love yourself, to be comfortable in yourself. And now you're coming into being able to trust yourself, right? You have to trust yourself. And this will completely change this next chapter for you. It will shift everything for you. It doesn't matter what you want. And this isn't even specific. This isn't talking about anything specific yet. We'll get into career and relationships, but this is just the overall energy. In the first group, there was very something specific about their passion, the desire, something that they're bringing into the world, but this is just the feeling. This is like putting an emphasis on the feeling, getting behind your why and listening to your intuition. And that's very exciting, because once you do that, things will change, things will shift. And we have a reframe, right? It's this idea also of maybe, well, yes, before you weren't viewing the world like this, right? Maybe before you thought that you had to be a certain person, take on a certain role, live a certain way, and you were very closed in how you viewed things, right? You were looking at a very specific lens. But now we're expanding out, right? Now that you've started to embrace yourself, trust yourself, love yourself, you're looking now into this new lens of, I'm going to live my life by trusting my intuition, by finding out the truth for myself, by saying yes to myself. When you live in that frame of, I'm going to live my life by saying yes to myself, everything changes completely, which you probably already know, take as confirmation because of this energy, this chapter that you're leaving behind, right? You started living more into your yes, you started accepting yourself, embracing yourself, right? And I'm sure now things have changed completely from that, right? And this is just confirmation. You're moving ahead and you're going to be taking that more expansively, right, to everything. Oh, this is exciting. It's like, I'm going to pull more cards. It's just reminding me of a situation I had. This reminds me exactly of a situation I had. Like, I was in, I got out of a marriage, I got a divorce, and, things were tough. But my next relationship after that, my next partnership, I learned to love myself, express myself authentically. I completely changed. Like, I, I was who I was, but I didn't hide myself anymore, right? I felt very, very comfortable with who I was, right? I expressed myself how I wanted. I loved how I wanted. I showed up how I wanted. It completely changed me, right? And then I started living in my yes. I started saying yes to myself. I started following what I wanted to do, right? And it completely changed my life, right? I wouldn't be here where I am now without that. So it's just really exciting for you. I feel very excited. Okay, let's look into specifics because this was very straightforward for you. So let's look at your career, your finances, any messages. Oh, okay. And we'll put one more. Okay. Oh, the devil and the moon. Okay. So we got double Leo here because the sun's Leo. And then we have Capricorn and Pisces here. So those are just confirmations, and it could be for any astrological placement. So just take that as confirmation. It doesn't have to be. And then I'm going to pull an oracle card. Okay, group 2, summary of the next chapter, career, finances. I am always growing and transforming. Oh, beautiful. It's just summing up everything. Oh, let's put this up here. Okay. Can you see that? This is very interesting for your career and finances. It's like, so we have this, right? The devil here. And you can see in the background, there's these people in these chains. Whenever I pull this card, when I pull it for a relationship reading, at least, it gives me very like kinky vibes. It doesn't have to be, but this is for career and finances. So a couple different messages here. So some of you, this is very specific. This might be for like one person. Very specific, whether you're in the scene or not. Maybe you're expressing yourself very differently in what I just said, and maybe you're connecting with people through that. That could be very related to the career you're exposing yourself to, your finances, but that's like for like one person. The rest of you, there is this message of, again, get back to your why. Get back to your reasons. Get back to being very clear on why you want to do things, because with this devil and moon, career and finances, it's like this message of make sure that you're connecting with your shadows, right? Connecting with what lights you up, because there's something hidden. There's something hidden underneath. And it might be because possibly some of you might be in a career or a situation, financial situation, that you have not been happy about, have been wanting to change, and so you're still in it, which makes sense if you're coming out of this, right? You might be contemplating now that you're coming in this, expressing yourself, trusting your intuition, you might be questioning where you're at right now in your finance or career situation. And so it's just this message of connecting with your feelings, connecting with your emotions. You are a spiritual being. This is Pisces energy. You are a spiritual being. It's important for you to be creative and feel inspired. So if you're not currently feeling that in your current work, this is a message to, follow the white rabbit, connect with yourself. If you want to journal, you want to meditate, and just figure out what it is that will make you happy, like daily, what it is that you want to do. Because you can do that, right? You don't have to be stuck in a situation that drains you. You don't have to be stuck in a situation that doesn't make you happy, right? Like, get very clear, and just to admit for yourself, to get very clear on what it is that you want out of career, out of a financial situation, right? You don't have to make a move right now, but just get clear on what it is that you want to feel, what it is that you want to do, what it is that you want to see. Because if you're working, like maybe like a desk job, normal hours 9 to 5, there's nothing wrong with that. But since you are getting these cards, there's something that it's missing for you. There's something about that type of environment that's missing something for you. And it's hard for you to do that 40 hours a week, day in, day out, constantly, right? So just get clear on what it is that lights you up more, right? Because the moon signifies lighting up shadows, lighting up things that are hidden. And with the devil, just be careful. Just a couple messages here. There's this message of looking accurately, like being honest, truthful about your habits, where you're spending. There's no judgment here, there's no shame. Just being honest on where is your money going. It's an energy exchange, right? Like, where are you placing your energy? Where are you placing your money? So a lot of people have hobbies that they love, right? That they truly love and enjoy, and they spend money on that. That's not what this is talking about. It's more of, if you're in a situation that you're not happy about, do you look at your finances, whether that's weekly, biweekly, monthly? Do you see where your money's going? There might be, you might not realize how much money you spend on food, for example, if you eat out a lot. There might, you might not realize how much you're spending on like toys or, trinkets. I buy a lot of these trinkets. But there's like a limit, right? This isn't like you need to feel like chained or trapped by your money spending, right? You deserve to live an abundant life and have what you want. But it is a situation message that if you're unhappy with where things are, just get very clear and budget, right? It's like this message of just being honest on where. If you have a certain hobby that you love and you love pouring in your energy and resources into that, then maybe cut back on other areas that you really don't care about. Like for food, some people love food, right? They love eating out. That's perfect. If you want to spend your energy and money on that, then go do that. But you can't spend your money and energy on everything everywhere, right? Unless you are in that abundant life, right? But if you're here, if we're in this reading, there's something going on where you're not quite happy about it, right? So just be very honest, right? Are there also certain hobbies or habits that aren't supporting you, right? Like maybe there are recreational substances, maybe there's something. I'm not saying you can't do those things, but I'm just saying, like, how much money, how much energy are you spending and investing in that? And is it helping you, right? Is it supporting you? It's an energy exchange, right? Whatever you're putting in, where you place your money is an energy exchange. You are showing the world, yourself, your soul, the universe, and others what's important to you, because you're spending your time and energy on it, right? You're spending money. And then what is it doing back for you? How is it supporting you back, right? So just get very clear on that. I don't know if that was too abstract, but these are just messages for your next chapter, just to look at it, right? This isn't ominous. This is just, hey, pay attention. Just look at it if you're feeling unhappy with your situation. And let's look at your health. This is just in general, your health and wellness. It could be physical, mental, emotional. And this is major arcana cards, so this is important lessons for you to pay attention to. So health for group 2, journal messages about the next chapter of health. Oh, okay. So, okay, this is going into this financial thing again. We have the 6 of coins reversed. And let me pull a self-care activity. For you to do this next chapter to help you get great. Any messages for the health? Okay, and we have pamper. Yes. Yeah, this literally this literally says what I just said here. But in terms of your health, we have the 6 of coins in reverse. For the 6 of coins, there is a energy exchange, right? It's literally about energy exchange. It's this person has skills, right? She sweeps, she grows strawberries, she has skills, and she trades those skills, her products, for money, right? It's an exchange, and it's an equal exchange, right? We have it in the reverse for your health. So again, it goes back to this. Pay attention to your habits, pay attention to what you're doing for yourself. There's some type of energy imbalance, there's some type of unequal exchange. So you might be feeling really drained. In this next chapter, it's warning. If you're not doing it now, it's just, just a message for you of, if you start to feel drained, if you start to feel low energy, if you start to feel really tired, just know that that's not normal, right? When I say normal, how do I say this? I think a lot of people think it's normal to feel tired and low energy all the time. It's not, actually. Look at what you're eating, look at what you're consuming, look at what you're putting into your body, look at how you're moving your body, look at all the energies around you, the people, the situations, like what is it that's draining you? Like, get very clear on that, right? Because what we put into our body, what we consume, it really does affect us, right? Like, drink more water, just pay attention. This isn't a sermon, but pay attention to your fruits and vegetables. It's just, if you eat clean, you're going to feel a lot better, right? If you move your body a little bit, you're going to feel a lot better. And this isn't telling you to go to the gym 5 days a week, right? It's do whatever lights you up and makes you feel good. For example, I am so bored at the gym. Going on a treadmill or lifting weights or just like, it's so boring to me. I can't. I like activity. So like I do like rock climbing. I boulder. Like I love bouldering. It's fun. I dance. That's more fun to me. I play tennis. That's really fun. All those things move my body. All those things help me with like getting stronger, right? And it's fun for me, so I actually enjoy it. Do what makes you fun. A lot of people, when they work out or do something, the reason why it doesn't work, the reason why they can't stick with it is because they're forcing themselves. It's not even fun for them. Do an activity that's fun. If you want to go rollerblade, go rollerblade. Go play pickleball. Everyone's playing pickleball right now. Like, do what makes you fun that moves you. If you love walks, go on walks, right? You don't need to lift something, run on a treadmill, or go running if you literally think that's not for you. Do an activity that literally lights you up because then you enjoy doing it. Okay, that was a message for some of you. So, it's important message for you to pamper yourself in this next coming chapter. Spend time on yourself, right? Like, look at this person. They have a face mask, they have crystals. You don't have to do any of these things specifically, but they're taking intentional time in loving themselves, right? Like spending their energy. Like they know that doing this, taking the time and surrounding themselves with things that light them up is good for them, right? It's just this message again of being intentional with where your energy is, right? Make sure that you are loving yourself, spending time on yourself, right? Like for these situations, it seems like you were in a partnership that was able to help you love yourself, right? Whether or not the partnership worked out, right? It could have ended for whatever reason, but you still learn to love yourself. That's not what that's saying. But you are someone that loves others, supports others, connects with others. I'm sure you're able to make them feel very loved and supported and secure. It's important that you also do that to yourself, right? Pamper yourself. Whether that means to you. It doesn't have to be every day, but find a time that works for you. Just take intentional time and space to just really nourish yourself, like really rest, like slow down, take a deep breath, just lay there and relax, Whether that's showers, spiritual baths, whether that's just like making yourself feel good, but it is this energy of making yourself feel good. So it's like a physical thing, whether you go to a spa, whether you get a massage, but it's just investing your time and energy and money into yourself so that you just feel really light and relaxed. Oh, I forgot to talk about this for the finances, but I am always growing and transforming. Yes, that just goes along with. So if you are contemplating your career or changing careers or, what have you, or if you're not happy in your career, in addition to what I said, this is just a great reminder and that, you are changing, right? You've been loving yourself, you've been expressing yourself, you're intuitive. Don't get too caught up on what you've been doing for a career, for example. Like a lot of people, whether or not you realize this, a lot of people change careers. Like I've met so many people and all of us have like done a second career, a third career, like, and it's not like a big thing, right? Like completely, like a lot of us think like, okay, whatever we went to college for, if you went to college, but whatever we studied, whatever we went to school for, and then we got the job right after at what, 22, 23, 24, we have to stay in that forever. No, why? Like, yes, it made sense at the time for whatever reason, whether that's because you actually wanted to or because someone told you to, but it made sense at the time. It served you well at the time. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to change your mind because we're always growing and transforming. And who you're growing into, is always back to yourself, but who you're growing and transforming, your career or your situation might not align with that anymore. And that's okay. It doesn't devalue what you went through. It doesn't mean that you weren't good at anything. It just means that it's a part of your past. It made you who you are, but now you're growing and transforming and you're going towards, your yes, you're following yourself. I think that was a message for me as well. But, embrace who you are, embrace who you're becoming. Your interests might change, your desires might change, your hobbies might change, and be open to that, right? Don't put yourself in a box, right? Because a caterpillar can't do the same thing that a butterfly can, right? All right. Let's look at your spiritual expansion. Okay, yes. Let's look at your spiritual expansion. What's going on spiritually for you in this next chapter? What's going on spiritually for group 2 in this next chapter? What's going on? Oh, we are going. It is in reverse, which is interesting. You got 8 of Wands in reverse. I'm just going to move these. Sorry, it's just a mess. And I'll pull an oracle card. I am worthy. I trust in divine timing. Oh, this just goes perfect with these two together, but okay. Okay, it's like when I first saw this card, right, I was like, quick, because it's Eight of Wands, but it was in reverse. So I was like, wait, hold on, maybe. But it goes well with I trust in divine timing. It's this message of, I think group one got this, not this, but this message, similar message, but you're trusting in divine timing, right? You're learning to trust in your inner compass, right? Things will go where how they go, right? We can't control the outcome, right? We can't control the outcome. We just are supposed to enjoy the journey. No matter what's happening in our life, the reason why we get anxious or upset or there's discomfort is because we want something to be different and we want it to be different now, right? And this is this message of, for your spiritual expansion, it's like this idea of things, it's like this message of don't get too caught on the timing. Spiritually, you're this next chapter, you're learning to trust yourself and your intuition, and you're learning that, you are supported by the universe, and things that happen for a reason because they are aligned, right? They're energetically aligned in that moment. If an opportunity doesn't work out for you, it's because it wasn't aligned, right? It wasn't meant for you, right? It's this idea again of, I've given this example before. It's this idea of, if you think of your higher self, the divine, as like an eagle, like you are a human on the ground, but the eagle is high up. The eagle can see a lot more than you. The eagle can see all the paths. The eagle can see all the way at the end. And it transmits messages to you through symbols. It can't talk to you. So through symbols, through dreams, through numbers, through intuitive nudges, right? And you're on the ground. And so you have to trust the nudges that you're getting. You have to trust the symbols. You have to just trust your yes, because there are situations and paths being closed and open toward you because it's just what's aligned. Just know that whatever path you choose, it's not right or wrong. You will get to where you need to be as long as you're pivoting toward your yes, right? And for this, it's like, don't get caught on the timing. Like, things are going to be happening very quickly, but at the same time, it's this idea of, it's okay if it ebbs and flows. It's okay if there's some quick moments, some slow moments. Things are happening as they are. Just enjoy the ride, right? Just be more like a wave, an ocean wave. Like, sometimes it's fast, it goes in, and then it slowly recedes, right? Like, just enjoy the ride, right? Enjoy how the energy naturally is. And spiritually, I am worthy. Yes. As you are coming, since you just were coming out of this, of being more authentic, expressing yourself, being more comfortable with your touch, you're realizing like how worthy you are, right? Your energy is so amazing, so beautiful. You are worthy of everything, everyone, everything that you desire, right? You deserve all the goodness that's coming to you. You deserve all these opportunities that are coming to you. Okay. Very straightforward. Let's look at your relationships. We're going to first look at platonic, familial relationships, whatever that means to you. I told the first group, everyone's relationships look different. Some platonic look like romantic. It doesn't really matter. I just tried to separate it to get more specific messages so I don't have to read all these threads. But in the first group, it seems like the messages are similar anyway. So we'll see what happens here. All right. Let's get some messages for your next chapter about your platonic relationships. Group 2. We have Two of Swords. And I'll pull an Oracle card. All right, messages about your platonic relationships. Group 2. Okay. We have Confusion, which goes very well with this card, Two of Swords. It's like, okay. Yes. Message again, trust your intuition, trust your inner voice, trust your yes, because in the relationships that are coming to you, these platonic relationships, whatever that means for you, it seems like there's this battle, right? And we have 2, right? It looks like 2 ones, right? We have 2, and then we have 21. So very interesting. It's this like, it's this message of you're a little too much in your head, right? Since you're coming out of this, right? You're trusting yourself, you're expressing yourself, you're being who you are. And now you might be in this kind of like dilemma of you might already have friends or support, and now that you're growing and changing and transforming, you might be in your head and realizing or contemplating that some of these relationships, some of these dynamics aren't supportive of where you're going. They aren't supportive of your, I don't want to say new energy because you've always been who you are, but you're expressing yourself more, you're understanding what you're actually worth. It's about energetic boundaries again. And so now there's this like back and forth between your intuition and your ego. It's like for some of these relationships, and it could be all of them. It doesn't, take what resonates, see what doesn't. Whoever pops up for you, it's gonna be that. But it's the situation where you're like, I've been with them. We do get along. There's a little bit of an off feeling, tension, whatever. But they've been in my life for so long. I want to keep them. However, I'm realizing that I deserve more. I want more. I want to be treated differently. I don't connect as much with this person because I'm changing and I'm growing. And so it's like that. And so you're like, what do I do? Because it's not like I don't like this person. It's not that I necessarily feel very negatively about this person. It's just I'm not connecting with this person anymore. Or maybe you haven't connected with this person for a while and you're just accepting it, right? You're realizing that. You're coming into that. And so it's like this back and forth. You're going against yourself. You're like, what do I do? Do I let go? Do I expand? What do I do? And this is a great message. Like I said, there's no right or wrong. Let's talk about relationship dynamics. Things ebb and flow, right? Things change. Depending on where you are in life, you make friends in school, you make friends through work, you make friends in hobbies, but people change, right? People grow. Not everyone has friends that they've had since childhood, right? Because if you think about it, you grow and change so much through adulthood, even through like what, 24, 26. And then even sometimes in your 30s, as you're coming more into yourself. Not that we need to label, people can know themselves earlier, but a common pattern is, after college, post work, and then people are accepting themselves, loving themselves, doing the work, and then they know more about themselves and they want different things. But it's just, you don't have to keep these connections. You don't have to keep these relationships just because you've known them for X amount of time. Now, it's natural to be uncomfortable, right? You can be uncomfortable in that. You can be uncomfortable. You don't have to let go of them, but you can change boundaries, right? Maybe instead of talking to them all the time on the phone or seeing them every other day, you just create space for yourself. You're allowed to have space, right? You're allowed to have space to be in your own energy, to kind of connect with yourself and your body and figure out what it is that I'm feeling. Is this relationship a yes for me? If it's a no, how do I make it a yes, right? It doesn't mean you have to cut them off. Maybe you're like, I really want to hang out with them. I want to keep in touch with them, but I want to see them monthly now. Maybe not every other week, maybe monthly, and see how that goes. That's okay. It's just important to be honest with yourself, connect with your feelings, and communicate, right? This energy is, I just want to say, is natural, right? This is okay. It makes sense. Because you're loving yourself more and expressing yourself more and trusting yourself more, this, I don't want to say is inevitable, it doesn't have to be, but this will be a common thing. This will be a common occurrence. So it's okay if you feel this discomfort. This is natural. And with time, as you trust yourself more, as you lean into your intuition, as you accept and love yourself more, and as you set boundaries for yourself on what type of relationships you want to be in and what you accept, this will get easier and you can pivot away. So this is coming in as you're expressing yourself. It's just a message of, hey, you're coming into who you are, you're expressing yourself, you're trusting yourself and your intuition. Just so you know, you may or may not feel a little bit conflicted about some of your relationships, and that's okay, right? Because people that are more energetically aligned with where you are, your frequency, are coming. They're coming in. They're connecting more with who you are, right? Everyone's growing and changing. Some people are staying still, right? They don't want to grow, and that's okay. But you will connect with the people with where you are. Okay. And let's look at your romantic / sexual, whatever, relationship dynamics, whatever that means for you. Okay, group 2, next chapter, the romantic sexual relationships. Okay. We have Ace of Coins and 7 of Chalices. Yes. So this is a little different for you, but your platonic and your romantic relationships are different. So yes. Oh wait, let me pull this oracle card. All right, number 2, romantic sexual relationships, messages. Respect. Oh, so beautiful. Let's just, okay. Well, sorry that my thing is so messy. Let's just put these right here. Look at that. Respect, so beautiful. So, yes, there is a new opportunity coming in. There is a new something that you want to invest yourself in, right? A romantic or sexual partnership. It could also be it doesn't have to be, it could also be business, work related. It could be through work. It doesn't have to be if you're looking through that, but it could be also a collaboration, but that ends up being also romantic, but whatever that means. But this is very aligned. You're going to have different opportunities, right? The 7 of Cups, the 7 of Chalices. Normally it shows like 7 cups and you're choosing between them, but this is going to feel like a very aligned connection, right? It's going to feel very spiritual. You have soulmates, soul frequency, soul ties coming in. You're going to have all of these connections coming in. You're going to feel very aligned and connected to them because of your frequency, because of your energy. And you will have choices, right? So whether or not you're E&M poly or not, you're going to have multiple choices. So whether you want to date multiple people or whether you want to choose one, if you're in the dating scene, this is confirmation. Take as confirmation that opportunities are going to be coming in that are very aligned with where you're going and who you are. And it's going to feel really good. And we have respect. Respect is so important. Whenever I think about what are the top 5 things I want in any relationship, in my past, respect, I was like, yeah, I put that in the middle or lower. I had other things. But respect is so important because you know what it is about respect? It's, I see you for who you are. I hear what you're saying. I hear your perspective. I hear your dreams and your goals. And I embrace you. I love that about you. I don't treat you like any less. That makes you who you are. You're human. It's like, I see you for who you are. And I embrace you. That's respect, right? And that's so beautiful, right? It's not about tolerating. Some people are like, oh yeah, I tolerate that. I'm like, what is that? That's a horrible word. No, this is, I see you and I embrace you. That is respect, right? That's amazing. Look at that. Oh, very straightforward. Okay, let's have some closing messages from your spirit team, higher self, regarding this next chapter. And I'll just read from the guidebook. Oops. Okay. Closing messages, group 2, about the next chapter in their life. Okay, we have 2. All right, well, we'll take 2. Perseverance, dandelion. Create space, raspberry. Oh, I can already feel these. All right. Let me get my guidebook. Look at this dandelion, perseverance. See, the dandelion is growing out of this cliff. There's nothing here at the cliff. It's growing, it's persevering, even though it's on the edge, right? The sun is there, it's blooming. It keeps going. It doesn't matter where it is, you can bloom, right? All right, let's go. 48. Okay. Dandelion is bold, bright, and sunny. She pushes through cracks in cement and worms her way into the mortar of stone walls, cheerfully. Dandelion's medicine is perseverance, but not the perseverance of the martyr. Instead, Dandelion is the eternal optimist. Like the Fool in the tarot deck, she's always happy to set off on a new adventure in hope of learning more and digging deeper. She's not an airy optimist, though, with no grounding in reality. Her roots are strong. She's the shaman and the Buddha, and her message is this: happiness is an inner landscape that has little to do with where you're planted. When you're ready to make your own joy, whatever life throws at you, call on a dandelion. Learn to adapt. Dandelion does this amazing thing. When she grows on a lawn that's mowed regularly, she stays short, so her flowers pass under the mower's blades. How can you, like Dandelion, adapt to the world around you? What little change can you make that will allow you to thrive in your current situation? If your mood turns sour and you're unable to maintain Dandelion's cheerfulness, ask yourself whether you need a mood adjustment or whether you're pushing up against an obstacle that's taking you off your true path. Remember, perseverance isn't about putting up with untenable situations. It's about knowing, what is that? It's about knowing the difference between that which is difficult but doable and that which is simply unhealthy for your soul. Yes, difficult but doable but unhealthy for your soul. And do you know how you do that? You listen to your intuition. You trust your divine timing, you listen to your intuition, you follow your inner compass, you pivot toward your yes. If you have trouble, if you want guidance, trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, pivoting toward your yes, I am launching a course on how to trust yourself, the difference between your ego and intuition, getting very clear on the energy behind your yes and no. We'll go over your clairs, we'll connect with your feelings, we'll have you heal a bunch of patterns. This will all help you open yourself up to the life you envision yourself and the connections that you've envisioned for yourself, your soulmate connections. I'll put the link in the description box. Just put in your email. I will notify you when the course launches and I'll give you access to the pre-sale pricing. But otherwise, just keep pivoting toward your yes, following yourself because you're doing it now. And your life really will transform, just like the dandelion. All right, let's read Raspberry. 60. This creates space. See, look, these birds are creating a safe space for their home, for their eggs, for their nest, right? They're literally intentionally picking every blade of grass, every tree branch, every fruit into their space because they know it's healthy and feels good. So this, again, I think this is about energetic boundaries. Oops. Raspberry is Rose's younger sister, sweet and wild, but also steady-handed. She loves the earth and its smallest creatures, so her ebullient, what is this word? Tell me about branches twist and crawl, creating nests for birds and sanctuaries for snails. She'll rock wee babes and scurry about with toddlers, rarely giving in to the gravitas that permeates most members of her family. Laughter floats through her leaves as she flexes and twists. You too can be like this, she says, demonstrating pliability earned by drinking deeply of mineral-rich soil. Sit with her and she'll share with you the secret of weaving space and creating strong containers for the emptiness that new life needs in order to thrive. When Raspberry appears, look to how you are or aren't nurturing space within. Hold space within. We often don't make space for ourselves in our daily lives or create a structure that lets us grow and fully express our dreams. Before creating in the world, Raspberry teaches we must learn to hold space within. Is there room for you in your mind and heart, or are your thoughts filled with the needs and schedules of others? Do you have guilt or other toxic thoughts popping up when you contemplate claiming space, mental, physical, or emotional, for yourself? Are you fearful of taking up too much space, intellectually or physically? Picture your creative womb as a place of starlight or forest loam, of ocean waves or sunlit meadows. Use whatever metaphor speaks to you. Wow, that was beautiful. Step into this internal landscape. Notice its natural edges, the place where the trees end or the ocean recedes. Trace these boundaries, affirming that you hold the space within sacred and self. Didn't I already talk about the ocean waves? Was that with this group? I talked about that. But that's beautiful. Picture your creative room as a place of starlight or forest loam, of ocean waves or sunlit meadows. Again, I was saying before of this energy. This energy will be, a little uncomfortable right here, but also, it's the idea of taking space for yourself. It's okay if you recede your energy. It's okay if you protect yourself a little bit because you have to connect with yourself and really understand what it is that's making you happy, right? All right, group 2. Those are all the messages that I have for you. Thank you so much for connecting with me. If anything resonated for you, please comment down below so I know how it worked out in your life. And I would love to continue connecting with your energy for the collective reading. So please continue subscribing, like, or comment. And as always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'm sending you warm wishes and soothing hugs. Hi, group 3. If you chose this pink crystal, this is going to be your reading. And you got the 10 of Swords for the current energy of the chapter that you're closing. Okay. And let me pull a couple more oracle cards. And you can take this as an energy check if you resonate with the reading so far as I'm going over the energy of the chapter that you're currently closing. Then you can continue. If not, you might want to choose another pile. So group 3's summary of their current closing chapter. And we'll choose one more. Be still. Okay. So let's talk about this because the second I pulled the Ten of Swords, I was like, ooh. Yeah, so the chapter that you're moving out of seems like a lot was going on for you guys. It's like this it's like this feeling of no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, it feels like you were just barely keeping your head above water. But all these obstacles, all these situations, whatever that may mean, kept pushing you back. It was like you couldn't make it to the other side. It was like you couldn't reach safety, right? It's this period of trying and trying so hard and getting so entirely exhausted that at a certain point you might have maybe in your head decided you wanted to give up, right? It was just so exhausting, so tiring, so discouraging, and you're like, can I make it? Can I keep going, right? But with the Ten of Swords, this is the end of a cycle. You do make it to the end. You do make it out of this. It's just the struggle, right? It's just the exhaustion. And the exhaustion is what I wanted to focus on. It's just this feeling of exhaustion and being poked at. And you're coming out of that, right? And it makes sense why these two came out. I think these came out for the last group 2. So if you're called a group 2, check that out. I believe it was group 2, maybe it was group 1. But this I Am Breakable card. So no matter what it was that you were going through in this chapter that is currently closing, you know, you've been through some things. You've seen better days, quote unquote, but these struggles, it helped shape you, right? It helped build you. Now, I'm not saying you deserve what happened and that, you know, all these struggles and pain you have to look at positively. It's more of like a mindset shift. It's like you've been through so many things, you've battled so many things, you've overcome so many things, you've been able to heal and grow, and you're using this situation to help support you, to help lift you up. This person, they have an amputated leg, which is a very traumatic experience, right? It can affect their life. It can change, you know, how they live day by day. However, this person has made it very beautiful, right? They've painted it, they put color on it. They're not going to let this stop them from moving forward, right? They can still live, they can still be happy, right? Like, yes, it might have turned out differently than this person expected, but it's not going to negatively affect them, right? They're going to keep going. It makes them look at the world a little bit differently, right? And it doesn't have to be as traumatic as that. It can, but whatever these situations were, or a situation where, you know, it really hurt, it left some wounds, right? It left some scars, but you're healing from that, right? And also, this is another great reminder or expression that through this time you have learned to express your feelings, to express your emotions, to express your struggles, right? Instead of like holding it all in and like bottling it up and suffering alone, it seems like with this closing chapter you have learned or are currently learning to express yourself, that your feelings matter, right? Your voice matters, and it's important to express those pain, those hurt, so that you can have support from others, right? And also giving yourself permission to talk about this, right? Whether that's with friends, family, partners, or just in life, whatever it is that you may do for work, expressing those trials and tribulations and struggles so that other people can connect with that, right? And learn from that. And we have Be Still. Stillness can be both clarifying and energizing. Let all the pieces settle around you. And it seems like you're coming out of a very, you know, a little bit chaotic energy and have learned how to create some inner peace for yourself, no matter like what's going on the outside. It looks like with this closing chapter, you've learned to kind of connect with your body, connect with your thoughts, and have that be a place of solace for you, right? Which is very important, right? I think, you know, a lot of people can find peace and solace with others, which is great, but there's a strength when you can go home or wherever, connect with your body, connect with your own energy, connect with that quiet, and feel very secure and at peace with that, right? So it looks like you're coming out of this energy of healing and battling, you know, something, feeling exhausted, but coming out on top, expressing yourself, embracing your experiences, and finding inner peace. So that's very beautiful. Okay, so that's the first part of the reading. Let's move on to the summary of the next chapter that's coming into your life. So summary of group 3 is the next chapter coming into your life. All right, we have Knight of Swords. Summary of group 3 is next chapter coming into your life. Okay. I'm open to receive. Yeah, this one was group 1. So yeah, this was group 2, I believe. This was group 1. So a lot of connections between the groups. So if you are called to multiple groups, it might be messages for you. So check out the other groups if you need, if you feel called. Summary of the chapter for 3. Reach. We have reach. Does something feel out of reach? All the more reason to stretch the arm out and reach new heights. And we are going to pull one more oracle deck. I'm going to read from the guidebook for this one. This is a big one. Summary of the next chapter for 3. Oh, that one just shot off over here. Convergence. Okay. All right, let's just read from the guidebook real quick on this one. All right, convergence, the meeting of two waters, nexus point. The age of Pisces meets the age of Aquarius. I learned from the past to build a brighter future. I am one, I am all. Many stories and ancient mystery schools have taught us that each astrological age ushers humanity into a period of global transformation. The age of Pisces, which we are now transforming from, marked the dawn of world religion, a time when rigid structures and spiritual traditions were of great focus. This ignited profound wisdom and knowledge, but also the rise of patriarchy and division. Many wounds were deeply ingrained into our collective subconscious, and we must now transmute and heal these shadows. Currently, we sit at the meeting point of two converging eras, as the past and future unite and collide. The wheel is shifting towards the forthcoming age of Aquarius, a prophesied time of great social change and technological advancements, merging all that has been learned and lost from the preceding cycles. The divine feminine and divine masculine will continue to weave together into higher frequencies of awareness, opening new doorways for the next age to truly shine through. Much growth can be gained from discerning times past to see how far we have come and how the future may merge with us. That's a great summary also of what I was saying over here. You know, whatever you've been through, all these experiences, building off of them and learning from them in order to push you forward, push you towards this path. And also using what you know to kind of shift your mindset and change your perspective on life, right? Like, mindset and the way we view the world is very important, right? For example, if depending on, the situation, a traumatic experience, we can get caught and say like, wow, I'm in so much pain, that really hurt me, I can't believe this happened to me, like what did I do to deserve this? I'm not going to feel safe anymore, I'm never going to trust anyone ever again. All these fears and limiting beliefs, which is fair, right? It's valid, it's fair. But when we get caught on that mental loop and we keep replaying it over and over, and then we let it affect our lives moving forward, that's how we get stuck, right? That's how we don't grow. But for this, it's saying like, you've taken these experiences, you've shifted your mindset, you've learned like how it's made you stronger, how it's made you able to heal more, how it's pushed you to be able to pivot toward the life you want for yourself, right? It's like in this picture, we have this beach and there's these two moons, right? And you can't really tell which one's real, quote unquote, and which one's a fantasy. And they're mirroring each other, right? It's just this another example again of whatever you envision for your life, whatever dreams and desires you have, whatever goals you have, career aspirations, passions, connections, whatever you catch yourself daydreaming about, like that is meant for you, right? Like you're imagining it for a reason, right? It's what you truly want. Whatever lights you up inside, whatever makes you really happy is meant for you. It is yours, right? And it's like this idea of putting together what's in your mind's eye, your imagination, your vision with current reality, right? Like converging, pushing it together. And with open and receive, that just connects with it more, right? Like you have to believe that you deserve everything and more. You have to be open to receive. And since this is pink, it was reminding me of the higher heart, like the heart chakra. Especially with this, like in order to get past this, you had to open your heart and heal, right? You had to be vulnerable. You had to express your vulnerable feelings, right? You had to heal and overcome yourself. You had to connect with yourself, your inner child, your own self, be still with yourself and love yourself, right? And believe that you deserve more, you deserve better, right? You have, it looks like a better idea of what energies you want to allow in your life, right? And with the Knight of Swords, getting very clear behind the why, behind the intentions, behind everything you do, behind every choice you make, right? It's this idea again of whatever choices you make, whatever decisions you have, whatever people you want around you. It's important that you understand like what's leading you toward these energies, right? You want to be led by yes, right? The yes energy. Whatever happened here, was it because you were living in a no? Was it because you were doubting yourself? Was it because you were doing things that you thought you should do based on what other people were saying, right? Now, from now on, the Nine of Swords, they take action with clarity, right? This is about movement, this is about action, but very, very clear on the why, your intention. And you're learning that instead of living in a no, instead of living from fear, since you've connected with yourself now and you understand more what makes you happy, what you deserve. Oh, there's a piece of hair here. Now, being very intentional with every decision that you make now is going to be with a yes, right? When it feels so good, when it lights you up, when it feels aligned, that is a yes, right? And this is just another reminder again of what I was saying with the reaches. If it feels out of reach, keep going, right? It's kind of like this card. It's, this person in this past energy that you're coming out of, they were trying to reach for the edge, right? But it felt like everything was pushing them down. Keep reaching, right? Especially as you come in with these intentions, like whatever the situation was, it probably wasn't aligned, right? Whatever was happening. Because what's meant for us will stay with us. What's not meant for us will lead us, right? Opportunities, people, we might feel rejected. We might feel like, why did this fall through? But it wasn't meant for us to begin with, right? Because we don't know. Those doors closed so that other doors could open, other paths were open to us, other opportunities, right? There's all these things happening in the woodwork, energies coming that we can't see, that are happening, that are meant for us, right? We can't always see the path ahead. I gave this example. I think I gave this example to the other groups. It's like, your higher self is like an eagle, right? The eagle's up in the sky. It can see everything. It can see far, right? It can see all the paths. For you, your human self, you're on the ground. So you can only see a few paths. You can't see anything else. So when these paths close, you feel devastated. You're like, why did these paths close? But you don't see from high up above that it's important that these close because it's more aligned for you to go over here, to open yourself up to these paths. So it's about that mindset change again. Okay, if this opportunity didn't happen, what did I learn? It wasn't meant for me, But keep reaching for the things that really light you up, right? Don't reach for the things that don't make you feel good. Reach for the things that really inspire you, right? That's your inner child. That really makes your heart happy, right? That makes your soul sing, right? This is exciting. Let's get into the specifics of your next chapter. Let's look at your career, finances. What's going on with that? All right, next chapter, group 3's career, finances. Okay. We have 2 of Wands. I'll just put it over here. All right, group 3's career, finances. I have all the time in the universe to be successful. And 2 of Wands. So it looks like, yes, this is going, oops. All right. These two together, Oh, let me just put this up. With the Two of Wands for your career finances, yes, it looks like whatever you came out of here, and now you're coming into this place of more alignment, following your yes. It does look like for your career finances that you are picking between a couple options. You have different paths, right? You're kind of wondering in this next chapter if whether it's happened already or not, but there will be multiple opportunities for you. And there will be this energy situation where you're like, well, which path do I choose? Do I choose this one? Do I choose this one? And it's this message again of don't get too caught up on what's right, right? There's no right or wrong, just aligned. You might have multiple aligned paths. Just pick the one that really inspires you, that really lights you up. Being scared is normal, right? The unknown is kind of scary. If there's multiple paths and there's a path that you're too scared to take, but it's the one that really makes you happy, you're just too afraid because you can't see far. You can't really like project the outcome. Move past that fear, right? Just take one step in your yes toward that direction, because the fear is holding you back, right? Our fear, our ego, it knows all of our experiences, all of our past, and it wants to keep us safe, right? So it's just important to connect with that fear, acknowledge it, talk to it, and just say, hey, like, I'm safe right now. This path is going to make me really happy. I understand that you're trying to keep me safe, but this is what I want to do, right? But this is like great, because in this next chapter, it looks like you're going to have aligned opportunities. There's no right or wrong, remember. Just choose the path that you really want to do. That'll make you happy. And you can't go wrong. You can always pivot, right? If you choose one path, you can always keep pivoting. It doesn't mean that it's permanent. It doesn't mean that it's gone away forever. And this is just another reminder to trust in divine timing. I have all the time in the universe to be successful, which is, again, what I was saying. Just pivot toward what you want to do, and you can keep pivoting, right? I feel like when I was 11, I decided not to play soccer because I thought I was too old, right? I was like, no, I didn't start when I was 5, so I can't. I'm like, well, 11-year-old thinks like that, right? So I never played soccer, but I played other sports. But it's just this idea of time. It's like we think we're too old to do something, or it's like even in my 20s, right? Or like 30s, you're like, oh, it's too late. No, it's not. People have multiple careers all the time. People shift, right? You have all the time in the world, because the only time that matters is now, right? Not yesterday, not tomorrow, just now. What is it that you want to do now? What inspires you now? What makes you happy now? Because we're only living in the now, right? Okay. Let's look at your health. So we're just going to look at, general health messages. This could be mental, emotional, physical health in this next chapter. All right, group 3, messages about their health. Oh. All right, I saw this one, but let me just shuffle and pull one more because a few kind of flipped over. Okay. All right. I'm gonna pull an oracle card. 3. Okay. So you have 2 cards each. I was really to take one, but whatever. Dance and flowers. Oh, beautiful. Look at all the colors. Okay. So it looks like, let's start with the 8 of chalices. For messages about health, it looks like emotionally and mentally, there is this feeling of being in a better place, right? You've come out of this 10 of Swords energy, which was, scary, traumatic, a little, a lot of mental anguish, feeling of exhaustion, right? But with the 8 of chalices, it's this idea of you've moved, right? You've come out of it. This could be physically moving, it doesn't have to be. But it's just this, you've come out of this energetic space that felt like it was holding you back, that it was keeping you underneath the water, right? You're now on top. It feels like a little vulnerable, but you're moving in the right direction, right? So it's like this, your mental and emotional health is like on the up. It's healing, right? There's like relief. Now you can rest, right? It's this idea again of, you be still to connect with yourself. It's also this vulnerable place. So it's also this message of discernment, right? Discerning what energies are supportive for you so that when you're in this vulnerable place, right, you don't connect with energies that are going to bring you, back, like lower vibration. You want to make sure that you are opening yourself up to safe spaces, right? With the three of coins, whether or not you work, it's this, I was immediately thinking of like either a healthcare provider, a coach, a therapist, anything. It could be anything. It's just like a guide, another person that's guiding and assisting you with some type of change, right? Which could be mental and emotional based, right? Whether it's a mentor, or YouTube, but it feels like whatever this was a lot, right? And it feels like for this next chapter, you're wanting to transform and shift and push yourself. So you're choosing someone to guide you through that. This is a collaborative effort, right? To help you through this transition, whatever that may mean. For some of you, this is specifically therapy or coaching or like a guide. However, it doesn't have to be, right? Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But it is this idea that someone is supporting you with your goals. You have goals to get through this transition. You're feeling vulnerable and you're moving in the right direction, right? And that can mean for any type of amount of time. But it does look good, right? It's this idea that you're investing in yourself, which is very important. You're deciding to invest in yourself. All of this, whatever happened, supported you now, and that you are now prioritizing your health and well-being. You're investing in your mental emotional health because you've realized how important it is for you in order to support you in this next chapter in your life, which is great. And we have threes here. So we have 33 dance and 3 flowers. So threes might be significant for you. 333. I didn't look at the other numbers here. And dancing is a great way to move stagnant energy. That's what I do. So I think I told one of the other groups this. It's if you want to work on your physical health, even mental and emotional health, but if you just want to move stagnant energy, like stretching and dancing is a great way, right? It just moves stagnant energy, it moves trapped emotions and repressed trauma. If you're not actively like connecting with your body, connecting with yourself, our feelings and emotions and thoughts can get stuck in our body, those physical sensations. And dancing is a great way. Dancing also helps you connect with your divine feminine, which isn't gendered, right? Your sacral chakra. It helps you connect with your body, move intuitively, and it just helps you have fun, right? It helps you express yourself. It's also a way to express your emotions and your feelings. So dance, move around. That's a message for some of you. Connect with yourself, feel beautiful, feel good. And flowers. Both of these look like watercolors a little bit. Flowers are just a great aesthetic. It's like, I think I pulled this for a different reading, but I was giving the example, it's reminding me of, just make your environment beautiful, right? I have trinkets around. I have this like disco mushroom that like shines light when it's sunny. It just makes things look pretty and sparkly. It like improves the aesthetic. But I gave this example of The Sims, right? In Sims, if you ever play The Sims, you have to decorate the walls, paint the walls, put some paintings because it makes I forgot what that meter is, but it makes the physical environment meter go up. If there's a lot of trash, if there's bugs, if there's unpainted walls, if it just looks not good and ugly, then it goes down, right? And flowers are just a beautiful way to brighten up the environment, right? It's just a little moment of grace for you. Also, they smell good. So some aromatherapy helps you connect with nature, right? It could be any type of flower. It could be dried flowers if you want. It's just a nice way to brighten up the space. So I guess it would be like a mental health thing. All right, let's take a look at your relationships. And I divided the relationships into platonic and romantic just to help kind of divide the energies so I wasn't reading multiple threads of energies. But the first group, it was pretty much similar. The second group was different. So we will see here. Let's take a look at your platonic familial relationships for this next chapter. 3. Oh, we got both. We got the King of Wands and the King of Swords. The raven and the crow. I always get these confused. Crow, raven. Because the crow has the 3 legs, right? All right, and then we'll pull an oracle card. All right, messages about romantic, familial relationships. I'll pull one more since that one came out, but then like 3 more came out, so we'll do one more. Okay, and we have gifts and chemistry. I think this came out in one of the groups, chemistry. I think. Okay. So for platonic and familial relationships, it looks like, so we do have a King of Wands energy and a King of Swords energy. So whether or not you already know these people or these people are coming in, let's talk about these 2 different people. They could be the same and embody both these energies, but I immediately thought there was 2 separate people coming in because ravens and crows are similar, right? But they're different. With this King of Wands person, this is like the masculine expression of the suit, which is not gendered, by the way. It just means they are decisive. They take action, right? They lead. They have structure. They're connected with themselves. I am getting a spiritual sense from this because it's a 3-legged crow. Now, they don't, whatever that means, right? Everyone defines spirituality differently, but it does seem like they are connected with themselves. They're connected with some type of magic, right? They're connected with their thoughts, their feelings, their emotions, but this person, it was in the reverse. So it might be more of like a low key spirituality, but I'm not getting the sense that this is like a negative aspect, right? Like when it's in the reverse, there could be many different meanings. I'm not getting that feeling, right? I don't feel like this is someone that's expressing it like in a negative way, which would mean like, maybe like more outbursts, right? Maybe a little bit arrogant. They're not stepping into a healthy masculine leader, right? That would be like a quote unquote negative aspect. I was just getting more of like a low key, like subtle energy when they come in. It's like when you meet someone and you connect with them, right? They're a little subtle. You connect with their energy, and it's like the more you get to know them, the more their personality kind of comes out. It's like a quiet confidence. That's what I mean. I feel like this person has a very quiet confidence. They're very secure and stable with who they are. They do have this energy that's distinct. It's not like when I think of like a King of Wands person or like Queen of Wands, I always think that not that they have to, but their energy really stands out in a room or a crowd. They could be loud, they don't have to be, but their energy is very warm and inviting and just like out there and expressive. But this one's more of like a quiet confidence. Like, yes, their energy does have an impact because it is distinct, but I don't feel like it's necessarily like loud out there until you start talking to them. And then you're like, oh, this person, like you notice like how they talk and their actions are just very like subtly confident and secure, and it makes you feel good, right? Like this person expresses themselves very openly. They know how to respect boundaries. They are themselves, right? And this person, they are themselves, which is very important. They're not trying to be someone they're not. They're expressing themselves how they want. It's just like this nice, subtle, quiet leadership energy. And they just are being, right? Now, let's talk about the King of Swords. So, the King, it's hard because the King of Swords, I'm also getting like similar qualities. So, this could be someone that embodies both. Or if you see yourself in one of these, you could be one of these and the other person could be one of these. But this also could be 2 different people. But with the King of Swords, this person is very decisive and clear. Like, this person will communicate more open. Like, this person can communicate openly, right? But I was getting more of like the feeling, like they're just like a quiet, subtle confident energy, and it's more of like the energy, right? It's more about their actions and what they do, right? This one, the King of Swords, they communicate very openly and expressively and straightforward, right? They have honest intentions, right? There's no like hiding. And again, it's that masculine expression of the suit. So, this person might tell you their intentions right off the bat. They might communicate like, oh, hey, I want to see you more, or hey, how are you doing? Like they'll be very good at checking in with you, things like that. Not that this person can't, but this person, since it is swords energy communication, this person is more like expressive in their communication, in their words, and like what they want, right? There can be like this question of, and this is platonic familial, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But when you're meeting new people, unless you already know these people, but when you're meeting new people, it can be a question of like, oh, what do they think of me? What do they want? Can we be friends? Do they already have friends? Are they willing to build? Things like that. But this person, I feel, will be very open and expressive about where they are and what they're looking for, right? Because this person isn't going to like not play around, but it's like they're not going to waste their time. And what I mean by that is not in a negative way. It's just they're going to communicate very openly on what they want, what they're looking for, and their values, so that they can align, with the right people and see like if it's going to work, so that you can build, right? They're not going to spend months upon months not saying anything and figuring out like whether or not this friendship, this relationship dynamic, familial, whatever, is going to work, right? And that goes great with what I was saying, chemistry, right? There's going to be a natural chemistry between these two. It doesn't even have to be two, right? It could be multiple people that embody these energies, but it's going to be a natural chemistry between these energies. Your energy, when you communicate, talk with, and express yourself with these energies, it's going to create, right? It's going to form another energy, right? And it's going to be very aligned, very beautiful. It's going to feel very good, right? You're not forcing a connection, right? You can't force chemistry, right? It's just the natural product of your energies together, right? I feel like some people, when they meet people on paper, it looks good, right? And they're like, oh, how come I don't connect? How come I don't feel? On paper, this, and that. But it's not about that, right? It's just about the chemistry. It's just about the natural way your energies connect together and what it creates. And you can't force it, right? But you're going to have a lot of chemistry with these people. And chemistry is not romantic, right? This is the platonic reading. So chemistry just means you're going to connect with them really well. You're going to share a lot of the same values, a lot of perspectives. It's just going to feel really good. And gifts. 2 messages with this one. I was thinking, yes, it's going to feel like a gift, right? It's going to feel like, oh my gosh, this was a surprise. These people came in. It was a complete surprise, and you're happy about it, right? It's like those gifts where, yes, it looks pretty on the outside, but also you're also very happy about what's on the inside, right? When you unwrap it, you're like surprised and very happy. But also, not only is it going to feel like a gift, the connection, but also one, multiple, whatever, might also express themselves in gifts, right? Maybe their love language is gifts, or maybe your love language is gifts. And this isn't about expensive things, right? This is about thoughtfulness and being sentimental. These people, they're actually going to connect with you. They're going to listen to you. They're going to get to know you. They're going to understand your likes, your dislikes, and what you're passionate about. They're actually going to present like thoughtful gifts, right? It's not just about like, oh, here's a dozen red roses because I feel like quote unquote women like roses, right? And you don't have to be a woman, but I'm just saying like that's just an example. Or like whenever they do those gendered gifts like on Amazon, they're like for him, for her. And like for him, you can get him a watch, but for her, get her a necklace. I'm like, what are these? I'm like, what? Anyway, that's what I mean. They're not about generic things, right? They're not going to randomly get you something because you're a man or a woman or whatever gender expression that you are, right? This is going to be because you are a person, right? It's not about your gender expression, right? It's about because you are this person and because I know you like this, here is a gift, right? And I feel like that goes, I don't know, people overlook that all the time, right? Like, here's a teddy bear. Nothing wrong with that. I have stuffed animals, but you know what I mean. I got you this because I know you will like it, not because a group of people that I identified you by will like it, right? And that's powerful. All right, let's look at now your romantic or sexual relation dynamics. If you're into that, if you're in that scene, let's see. All right, so group 3 is romantic, sexual dynamics. Oh, wow. 10 of coins, and we'll get one more. Well, I feel like you guys are in that scene or want to be or already. All right. Threes, romantic, sexual dynamics. And we're going to pull one more. All right, this is very interesting because we have 10 of coins here, right? And immediately with the 10 of coins, I was like, wow, this is great. This is amazing, right? The 10 of coins, this person is at, the height of abundance. This person has worked hard to build for their family, whatever family means, right? He has a dog. You can have partners, you can have dependents, whatever. He has a home. Like, he's taken time to invest a lot in this and build something, right? To last, right? The 10 of coins is about lasting, fulfillment. It's completed this cycle. It's taken a while to build this, right? I mean, not for you, but I'm just saying, they invested time and energy. However, with these oracle cards, we have regret and confusion, which is very interesting. And they're right side by side. This is 20 and 21. So at first I was thinking, for some of you, right, I have to read the different threads. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is a collective reading. So if you're already in this, if you've already built this, right, if you've already, like, for example, the message coming through to me is like, you've built a long-term relationship with someone. It doesn't have to be a marriage, but if you're living together, built a marriage, built something, but now you're questioning if this is what you want, right? Depending on what this situation was, like maybe this was the relationship. It doesn't have to be, but as you're coming into yourself, you're trusting yourself, you're living in your yes, and you're questioning whether or not what you built, what that looks like, is what you want. And so you're asking yourself, right? You're a little confused. You're like, is this keeping me trapped? Is this keeping me stuck? Do I move away from this? What is it that I do? That's very, very, very specific for a few of you, right? Also, for those that it doesn't resonate with, there's this idea of questioning what this looks like for you. What does abundance look like? What does happiness look like for you? Because, society tells us a lot of things, right? House, picket fence, heterosexual relationship, couple kids, that's the life, right? But we're out of that, right? We're moving out of that. This is 2024. Relationships look so different, right? Gender expressions, sexual orientations, whatever family means, whatever dynamics, right? E&M, poly, monogamous, it doesn't really matter, but everyone's definition of family, of happiness, of abundance looks very different. And only you know what that looks like, right? And so for those of you that don't resonate with the first one, it's just this message of you are coming to build your own understanding and definition of what abundance and happiness looks like for you, right? Maybe before you had thought more traditional, typical, but now after all of this, whatever you've gone through life, you're realizing like, oh, you know what? I just want to travel the world. I'm going to have multiple homes and I'm going to be independent. That's just an example. Or I don't want tiny humans. I'm going to have fur babies and I'm okay with that now, right? Or you know what? I'm never going to get married. I want a partner, but I don't want to get married, right? Or I want multiple partners. I don't want just one. I want to express myself and love multiple people, right? There's just so many different ways. And so maybe you're like, wait, have I wasted time thinking that, some of you are like, I've wasted time. I've done this, this, and that because I thought this was what I was supposed to do. But now I'm realizing I've wasted time. I want to do this. No, you're not wasting time. Everything happens for a reason. You have experiences for a reason. You are where you are now, right? So there's that message for some of you. And for the other thread that I'm getting, these would not match this thread. The other threads I'm getting is if you've been putting in time, right? You've gotten past this, you've pushed forward, you're now listening to yourself, you're opening to receive, and you're going after what you want. you're connecting with all these people that you have chemistry with, right? Friends, other people. It's just this message of you are going to build what you desire, right? You're going to build your support, you're going to build your community, and you're going to do it your way, right? You have moved past all of this. You're going to do it your way, and it's coming in this next chapter. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. There's just multiple threads there. And let's just get some closing messages from your higher self, your spirit team, regarding this next chapter in your life. Okay. Closing messages from your spirit team regarding this next chapter in your life. And I'm going to read from the guidebook from this one. Oh, no. Okay. A bunch of cards fell, so let me just reshuffle. Okay, I saw this one, so it came back. Forbidden fruit apple, 32. There's like a snake coming out of the apple. All right, let's read. Apple has been given grief since in the beginning, when she learned that feeding people and teaching them to know themselves can be a dangerous thing. She became associated with snakes, shame, and fig leaves, and it's been all dance lessons, curtsies, and domestication from there. Apple is the witch of the wildwood, forced to clean up and come in for tea. But a skirt and pumps can't hide her knowledge of the circling stars and cycling seasons, the deep loam of the earth, and the warm weep of summer rain. We may think that we've tamed Wild Apple and brought her to heel, but even quasi-domesticated, she still gifts us with the sweetness of understanding ourselves. Apple asks, what have you forbidden yourself? Hidden desires. We try to tame things that scare us. Self-knowledge is no different. We hide our deep wisdom, our intuition, our needs and desires under a layer of enculturation, refusing to acknowledge what we consider inappropriate or grandiose. These hidden knowings and longings are snakes in the garden. What's susurrus? The susurrus of knowledge trying to wake us up. Do you stifle your body when it wants to move in certain ways? Do you choke back your voice when it wants to chant or sing? Do you eat what you're supposed to eat instead of what your body craves? Do you listen to the quiet voice of your intuition? Do you have thoughts that feel like snakes in the garden, pointing you towards embarrassing or dark truths? Knowledge is a knife that cuts both ways. It can be self-conscious and used to beat yourself into submission, or it can be self-aware, used to rejoice in the incredible creation you are. How can you both know and love yourself? That is a beautiful reminder of all of this, right? You're connecting with your body, you're connecting with your intuition, you're, connecting with your mind, shifting your mind, your thoughts, connecting with what makes you happy, connecting with what lights you up, right? When you make decisions, right, with clear intention toward your yes, your life will change, right? And if you want more help trusting yourself, I am launching a course. It goes through step by step on how to get behind the energy, behind your yes and no, to understand that. The difference between your ego and intuition, so that you're not ruled by fear all the time, right? You want to live in the yes energy, connect with your intuition. I'll go over the clears with you. We'll go over past patterns, how to heal, connect with your inner child, all so that, you can shift your life towards the soulmate connections that you've always envisioned, toward the life you always envisioned for yourself, right? It's living in that yes energy. And if not, just keep pivoting toward your yes, because that's when your life transforms. I will put the link in the description box. You can put in your email. I'll notify you when it launches, and I'll give you access to the pre-sale price. But other than that, these are all the messages that I have for you. Thank you so much for connecting with me. If anything resonated for you, please comment down below so I know how it worked out in your life. And I would love to continue connecting with your energy as I read for the collective. So please continue subscribing, like, or comment. And as always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'm sending you warm wishes and soothing hugs. Hi, group 4. You chose this group. You chose the red carnelian or red jasper. And your card will be the Ace of Cups. And this will be the summary of the current chapter that is closing in your life. So we're going to pull a few oracle cards. And you can take this as the energy check for the reading. So if the reading so far is resonating with you, you can continue during this summary, but if not, you might want to choose a different group. Okay, summary of the current chapter for group 4. And you got, I reveal my truth and I am blessed. I think this came out for one of the groups. And we will choose one more oracle deck. Okay, the summary of the current cluster chapter for group 4. And reach. Okay. Okay, so it looks like the chapter that you are currently closing, currently going through, it looks like a couple different messages. With the Ace of Cups, it does look like that this last chapter for you was really about pouring into your own cup, a lot of self-love, whether that was connecting with yourself, going on a little hermit journey, just pouring into yourself and loving yourself and really connecting with what it is that you really want for yourself, your desires. This could be relationship based, career based, it could just be pretty much anything, but it's just basically pouring into yourself. And this does look like a period of time where also you were learning to express yourself more, express like your struggles, your vulnerable feelings, your pain. And you know, this is 13, which reminds me of the Death card in Tarot, which is about transformation. It is Scorpio energy. So it looks like this period of time, it really was about you connecting with yourself more deeply on a deeper level. And really believing that your voice matters, your feelings matter, and expressing those out to the people that you care about. You know, whether or not you are someone that usually holds things in, whether you're someone that usually doesn't like expressing yourself or what's going on when you're struggling, it does look like this period of time in your life you're learning to really rely on your support and other people around you and just reveal more authentically what's going on for you, right? So you can have that support for others. And because you've been connecting with yourself more, because you've been loving yourself more, getting into this energy of feeling very grateful for all the things that you do have in your life. It does give me this energy of it's just getting back into the reasons why you really love yourself and the reasons why you really love your life, right? It's like, you know, no matter where we are, whatever we're going through, there can always be, you know, room for improvement, you know, wanting a change. But it looks like this chapter that is closing, transitioning out of it's just a time of really embracing like who you are, why you love yourself, and reminding yourself about the things in your life that you're really grateful for. It's just like looking at the really positives of your life and what you're really grateful for, showing more gratitude. This says, reach. Does something feel out of reach? All the more reason to stretch that arm out and reach new heights. I think this one came out in another group too. If you were called to any of the other groups, do watch them because there may be messages for you because a few of these did come in the other groups. But it's this message of, you know, since you were in this period of pouring into yourself, loving yourself, and being grateful, like I said before, like there, even if there are goals that you've wanted, even if there's a change that you want, even if there's something that isn't necessarily how you want, even if things aren't necessarily the way you want right now, and it feels like it's just out of reach, keep going. I think in another group I said like it feels like, you know, maybe it's like on a really high shelf and you're on your tiptoes and you're just like barely reaching for it. This is a message of really push yourself. Because you have been learning to love yourself and pour into yourself more, you might be more open to receiving. You might be more open to believing that there are many opportunities coming to you, right? Relationship opportunities, you know, abundance, just anything. But previously, before this chapter, you might have been like stuck in this like isolated bubble, thinking that nothing can get to you, like the light can't shine through. I'm just like imagine like the shadowy bubble of like you feeling a little bit alone, lost, and lonely. But in this chapter that just happened, you're realizing that there are so many people, energies, and support around you that really love you, that want the best for you. You've found the light in your life. You're learning to pour into yourself, and now you're realizing that the desires that you've had, Maybe like you never told anyone, whatever wishes or desires that you've had, maybe you thought it was silly in the past, but they are meant for you, right? And you can reach them because we co-create with the universe, right? We deserve everything that we want in our lives, whatever we imagine for ourselves, whatever that keeps us out up at night, whatever really lights us up and we get excited for, like that is meant for us. And so it's a message again of it is meant for you. You can reach, just keep pushing yourself, right? You don't have to limit yourself, right? They say like sky is the limit. Maybe I should say the stars are the limit because the sky is, the sky is pretty high up, but we can go further, right? We can reach for the stars. So reach for the stars. Okay. So that was the energy check, the summary of the current closing chapter. Let's look at the summary of the next chapter that's coming into your life. We'll pull some tarot and oracle cards. Oh, and I forgot to mention the reason why this looks different than the other videos. I had to catch a flight and I wasn't able to film the last group before my flight, so I had to film it when I reached my destination. So that's why it looks a little different. Okay. So let's look at group 4's summary of the next chapter that they're coming into. We've got 4 of Swords. Okay. We'll pull some oracle cards. Summary of the next chapter. Group 4 is coming into. Okay. I am a creator. Harvest. And we'll pull one from the Ocean Dreams Oracle. I wrote the guidebook for this one. It's very extensive. Oh. Okay. This fell down and this fell on my lap, so we're going to do both of these. Dreamgate and Deep Mysteries. Okay. All right, I'll start with the guidebook for Dreamgate. You can see this person swimming and there's like a gate underwater. All right, Dreamgate, connecting with the subconscious, dreams as communication. I see the symbols as markers along my path. I am always able to tap into the language of my soul. As humans, we communicate with the universal language of symbols and archetypes. Since the dawn of time, we have tapped into our dreams to understand the mysteries of the universe and the fabric of the soul. Dreams offer insights into our innermost self, connecting us with our subconscious landscapes and the power of our intuitions. During a typical lifetime, we spend approximately 6 years dreaming and a third of their life sleeping. Dreams speak to us through mysterious images and metaphors. The more proficient we become with deciphering their language, the richer our waking life may be. The Dreamgate card is a doorway into your subconscious. It is here to help activate the compass of your dreams and the subtle messages that are woven into your inner landscapes. Every night, you are faced with a rich treasury of messages, which are specific to your own unique blueprint. It is time to celebrate these portals and the messages they wish to offer you. And that's a great message of, as you are coming into loving yourself, you're coming from this place of loving yourself more, connecting with yourself, believing that more is available for you. It's also this idea of, you're connecting more through intuition. And a message for some of you is using dreams, right? Like setting an intention before you sleep. Maybe you have a question to the universe, to your guides, whatever you believe in, but asking a question. And then when you dream, when you wake up, writing down what you saw in the dreams, looking at the symbols, looking at how you felt, and starting to see patterns and trust yourself on what you think the dreams mean, right? Let's look at Deep Mysteries. Initiation into the great mysteries of life, cultivating inner wisdom, acknowledging subtleties, peeling back the layers. I am an ocean of wisdom. I am able to discern what is true for me and see beyond the 3D. I choose to believe. Once you begin stepping away from the matrix of this world, past the conditioning we experience, the artificial constructs and the collective static, something interesting happens. You may suddenly see through new eyes into greater depths and uncharted spaces. These waters run deep, but they also house many great distortions and truths. This is a card that looks beyond the veil to activate a deeper attunement. It points to grasping principles on our own terms and being open and receptive to the great mysteries of our universe. It is said that seeing is believing, but what if the answers are on the flip side of this? There may come a time when you suddenly question something or someone, or find yourself at an impasse. This could spark a powerful new view on life, one that parts the curtain and shows you so much more than you knew to be true. Once ignited, this inner light will never dim. You may find the sources you once trusted were actually falling short. It took your own awakening to finally see the greater picture. Both of these are great messages about, since you're coming out of this place of loving yourself, connecting with yourself, you're now connecting with, the subtle energies around you, whether or not you were doing that before. But since you have expanded your own self-love, and now that you're seeing things from a higher place in space, it is this message again of trusting yourself, trusting the intuitive messages that you see. Let me just move this so you can see the bottom of the cards. Okay. But it is this idea of messages of, you're expanding, right? And we'll get into more details about your spiritual expansion, but it's clear that this next chapter, you are expanding. You're expanding on your gifts, whatever that may mean to you, but you're also expanding in the ways that you do connect with yourself, right? It's one thing to connect with your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, right? To love yourself, pour into yourself, as we do in this day-to-day life. But it's also like connecting with more, right? Connecting with your dreams, connecting with the unknown, connecting with the mysteries of life, right? There are subtle energies that you can connect with. Whether you connect with energy healing, Reiki, whether you do tarot, whether you meditate, there's so many things to connect more with your intuition. And with the Four of Swords, it is this period of also slowing down and rest, right? Whatever happened in this previous chapter, you were pouring into yourself, loving yourself. And so I don't know if you were doing a lot of like inner work, reflection, shadow work, healing, but healing can be very like a laborious process, right? It doesn't have to be, right? It can be easeful, but depending on what you're doing, it can take a lot out of you. And so you've gone through so much, right? I feel like you've like shifted the way you view yourself. You've shifted the way you love yourself and see yourself. And I feel like it was like this big upheaval, right? But now you're coming into rest a little bit. You're connecting with yourself. You're slowing down. Like this dreamy state, it's in between like, like with dreamy states, it's like, yes, you are awake, but you're kind of like relaxed and calm. And you're looking at things with a new like perspective, kind of like you're seeing through the lens, like a dream lens, right? Like kind of like I heard like rose colored glasses. Like you're seeing the world, like the world is still there, right? But now that you have these different glasses on, you're seeing the world with a little bit of a more dreamy like state, like a more positive, childlike, fun state. It's just like this, like as if it's not real, right? It's real, but it's not real, right? Like everything is the same, but you're looking at it differently. And it kind of goes with the Four of Swords. It's like this is a period of rest. It's like you're resting with your eyes open, right? Like in the Four of Swords, this looks like Sleeping Beauty, right? She's resting, she's sleeping, she's waiting, in the Disney movie at least, for the frost to go away, right? For someone to come kiss her. But this isn't it for you. It's more like you're in this calmer state compared to this previous chapter, this restful state where it's almost like you're seeing the world differently through a dreamlike lens. And, with harvest, we have lovely things have been growing in your garden. Let's gather the good and celebrate. And this is like a good message too of whatever you were doing in this previous chapter, to love yourself more, expand on yourself. Now it's like time to see the fruit, right? It's like when I don't farm, but when you go and plant something, you have to like harvest it later. It takes so much work, right? You have to tend to the soil, water, you have to check on it. And it's like a labor of love, right? And then with time though, you see the fruits of your labor, you have things grow and you can take it, right? You can harvest it. And that's what I feel like this is. You spent so much time in this chapter, like doing all the necessary things, connecting with yourself, loving yourself, maybe getting guidance, whether that's coach therapy, whatever, but just like spending a lot of time and energy on yourself. And now, you can see the difference because you have this shift now, because of all this work you did over here, because you connected with yourself more, because you decided to love yourself and pay attention, that you are a priority. With that, I feel like with this next chapter, because you did this, now you're able to see the world through this dreamlike lens, which is beautiful, right? You are now able to live a little bit differently than other people. You get to see the world a little bit differently. You get to enjoy the world a little bit differently, right? It's like when people are stuck, right, for example, in the 3D, right? It's like this rat race. Like, it's just like monotonous. Go to work, eat clean, go home, repeat, repeat. And it's just repetitive, right? It's just like a cog in the wheel, right? And there's nothing else really. It's just like over and over again. Work hard, a little bit of play, maybe, but But now, because you've done all this work, you're realizing like, no, there's more to life. You can see the world a little bit differently. You can see the world more positively, right? There's more in the world to see that you haven't realized before. And you're able to like, because of this work you did, this is the fruit, right? Getting to shift your perspective and mindset and see the world through this dreamlike state is the harvest, right? Feeling a higher vibration, feeling more deeply connected into yourself. And this is the other harvest, is realizing that you are a creator, right? You are a conscious creator of the life. You co-create with the universe for the life you envision for yourself. You are a creator. Because of all this work you did, you now created this reality for yourself that you're able to live in this life in a dreamlike gaze, right? And it's funny because I don't have my things, I'm in a different space, and I borrowed my friend's old trinkets, right? We have Gengar here. And Gengar does like dream eating. It's like, he is a ghost Pokemon. And then I also have, it's interesting, like I also have Mew here, right? Very dreamlike Mew. And Umbreon. It's like, these are all like psychic, Pokemon, ghost-like Pokemon. And then I have an owl here. So like clearly these trinkets were meant for this group because none of the other groups have these trinkets, but these trinkets go very well with this because, these Pokemon, these trinkets, they're very like nighttime, dreamlike, psychic. It's very like mystical, right? And it matches perfectly with your reading. It's like you get to connect with these energies on the daily, all the time, and this is your new reality, right? And you created this, right? This wasn't just magic. I mean, it is magic, but you created it because of what you did over here, right? So it's just this message again of your choices, your actions, they do affect your reality, right? What you do affects your reality. Like you are co-creating it. And so we might not see the benefit immediately, but I just wanted to give you like, just show you like, I hope you're showing yourself gratitude because whatever you did here in this last chapter, it was a lot of work, right? But now you're getting to reap the benefits in this next chapter and it'll be really exciting for you. All right, let's look at your career, finances. Let's see what's going on in this next chapter for group 4, career, finances, education, anything of that sort. And we have 7 of Swords. It was in reverse, I guess. So 7 of Swords. And then let me pull an oracle card. For the career, finances, this next chapter. Okay, I got 2. So we have, my desires are clear and are manifesting as planned, 41. And I am abundant when I am grateful for all I already have. Yes. This connects well with what I was saying. It's, expressing gratitude in this other chapter, it's clear that you come to realize all the things that you are grateful for in your life, right? What you are blessed to have. And it's just another message of connecting with yourself, whether that's daily or every so often, but When you start taking note and telling yourself all the things you're grateful for in the morning, like I'm grateful for the fresh air, clean water, fruits and vegetables, I'm grateful for this safe space where I can express myself, I'm grateful for the loving support that I have, etc. When you start focusing your attention on what you're grateful for, it connects you with the energy of those things, right? It makes you feel happy. It lights you up. It puts you in that yes energy, right? We want to live in the energy of yes, right? And when that happens, as it says, is I am abundant when I'm grateful for all I already have, right? It's just another way of connecting with the abundance of your life and focusing on that energy. And like I said, every action that you have, every decision that you have, it does affect your life, right? When you have clear intentions behind your actions and they're in the energy of yes, when you keep pivoting toward your yes, that's how you get the life that you want for yourself, right? A lot of the times, the reason why we're unhappy with our lives is because we're living in the energy of no, right? We have these people that make us feel anxious around us, right? We feel unloved. We feel a no in the relationship, but we keep them around, right? We're in a job that demands a lot from us, right? A lot of our time, investment, a lot of our hours, we don't feel appreciated. So we're living in a no, right? This job is a no, right? And for whatever else. We're living in no energy, and that's why we're unhappy. But you started realizing as you're loving yourself, as you're saying yes to yourself, your life started shifting, right? That's the energy of yes. You want to keep pivoting toward your yes in all areas of your life. And that's how you quantum shift, right? If you want help with this, I am launching a course on how to trust yourself. It helps take you step by step and guides you through the energy behind your own yes and no, how to pivot toward that, how to connect with your intuition and know the difference between your ego and intuition so you're not living by fear, right? I'll help you connect with your inner child, help you heal some shit, those patterns in your life that you keep repeating over and over so that you can open yourself up to the life you've always envisioned to yourself. So you can open yourself up to the soulmate connections you've always wanted, right? I'll put the link in my description box. If you're interested, just put in your email and I'll notify you when it launches and I'll give you access to the pre-sale price. But otherwise, since you have been doing this work and connecting with your intuition and pivoting toward your yes, you already know what to do. This message for your work, this is a message for some of you. Some of you aren't happy in whatever career you're in, whatever study you're in, whether you have a job, whether you're studying something specific, but it is this message of, taking back your time, taking back your mind, right? We have this person who's looks like they're stealing some swords, right, into the night. Now, from the card, we're not clear whether these swords were this person's or not. For me, like, it was this message of, taking back your mental peace, taking back your mind, right? So it's this message of, for some of you, for your career, for this next chapter is you're starting to get very clear on your intentions, what makes you happy, right? What makes this a yes for you? And taking back that part of yourself, right? You're empowering yourself to believe that you have a choice, right? No one can steal your mind from you. No one can steal your, the mental energy. No one can steal your thoughts, right? And so in this next chapter, it looks like you're getting more clarity on the career, your finances, on the area of your life you'd like to work. And it's this really important message, though, that you have control. This person is controlling everything, right? Maybe some of you right now don't feel like you're in control. In this next chapter, you're going to feel like you're in control. You're going to be taking back your mental peace. Let's pull just one more card. Just want a little bit more information on what's going on with your career in this next chapter. For what's going on with your career in this next chapter. Six of Swords. Okay, so we went from 7 down to 6. So yeah, it's it's the similar here. So yes, in this next chapter, like I said, it's a similar message. Some of you will be making a choice to move away from whatever area you're in now. Some of you've decided, you've made clear that whatever this career path for you, it is not serving you, and so you are making a move. You are leaving it behind. And this is a transformative experience for you. Maybe you had spent a lot of time and energy and effort into this very specific career, and now you're leaving it behind and you're shifting towards something else. But you're paying attention to yourself, right? You're loving your inner child. You're listening to your feelings more, and you're believing, your voice and feelings matter. And now you're making a change. And this is going to be a big shift for you. This change, this shift is going to propel you, right? Okay, so similar messages. Let's look at your health. Just general messages about your health. This can be mental, emotional, physical health. We'll look at your health for this next chapter. Group 4. Okay, group 4 messages for your health. Okay, these cards, there's a lot of cards that keep coming out. I'm going to keep shuffling. That's too many cards. All right, this one came out again. I'll pull another one. Okay. All right. And I'll pull a self-care activity. Draw. Okay. Let's just put these on top. So with the 8 of Wands, I immediately was thinking for some of you, if there's been something you've been waiting for, like a message or clarity, maybe like a test result or anything of that nature, this is a message that it will be coming to you guys fast in this next coming chapter, quickly. The 8 of Wands is a really quick card, so if you've been looking for guidance, if you've been looking for clarity, that is coming to you. That is a message for some of you. This could also be about travel. Some of you might be physically going somewhere to get some type of support with your health, whether that's like a retreat, a spa service, maybe you're seeing like a specialized person, in the area field where you need support. But those are some specific messages for some of you. And this doesn't have to be, but for the 5 of Cups, for this next chapter, a lot of you, it will be all about emotional health, emotional and mental health. The 5 of Chalices is about, it is this emotional anguish. It's like the decision, right? In this card, you can see in Hans Christian Andersen's tale, The Little Mermaid, which is what this card is, The Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid ends up not getting chosen, right, by the prince, if you haven't read the tale. He chooses someone else. He's on his honeymoon on a boat, and she's there as a friend, yes. And she goes outside, and this is the 3rd day, and mermaids don't have souls, so on the 3rd day, she will just turn into foam and cease to exist. However, her sisters cut off all of their hair and traded it to the sea witch for a dagger. And they gave her this option. They said, please use this sword. You can kill the prince and bathe in his blood, and that will help you turn back into a mermaid, because then at least she can come back to them, right? And so it's this emotional anguish of, I'm going to hurt someone, right? I can take this sword, kill the prince, which would hurt her love, but at least then she'd turn back into a mermaid and get to be back with her family, which is where she was, right? Or, the sisters already did that for her. They cut off all their hair for her just for the dagger. Or she could hurt them. She could hurt her family. She could hurt her friends. She could just die. So she could save the prince, right? So it's like this emotional anguish, but it is this message of stay true to yourself, right? She ends up not taking the dagger, right? Because her values, she's not going to kill the prince for herself, right? It's not like right or wrong, but she's not going to do that. But she stayed true to herself, right? She was going to hurt someone either way. It is this message of, you're getting, for this next chapter, for a lot of you, you're starting to step into, prioritizing your own emotional mental health. As I said before, you're prioritizing yourself, right? You're saying yes to yourself, even if that means hurting others, right? Because you have to do what's best for you, right? You're going to live. You have to live with the decisions that you're making every day, right? It's this message again of, I gave this example in another reading. It's like my background's in nursing, and we are the last defense, right, for the patient, right? It doesn't matter what is ordered. I mean, it matters what's ordered, right? Everyone can work with everything, but at the end of the day, we have to make sure the patient is safe. We are the last line of defense. If we make an error, if we follow someone's whatever orders and we don't feel like it's right and we harm the patient, we are the last defense. For you, you are the last defense, right? You have to live your life. It doesn't matter what these people say. It doesn't matter what other people think you should do. You're the one that has to live with your choices, right? And like I said, like all of your choices, everything that you make, all your decisions affects your life. So you're coming into this space in this next chapter of prioritizing your emotional health and realizing that it's okay if other people end up getting hurt. I have to do what's best for myself. And it's not like you're purposely hurting them, but you have to stay true to who you are and live by your values. Okay. So that is a message for some of you. And this is just a message on how to integrate this is drawing. How to really express your feelings. Just express, it doesn't have to be drawing like with a colored pencil, but getting back into connecting with your creative side, right? Like you are a creator. Like, yes, you co-create with the universe, but a creator, you're creative, right? You express yourself, you express your feelings. And also, like, depending on how you're expressing your truth, draw, express, paint. When was the last time you colored something? Like, they have those adult coloring books too. You don't even need an adult coloring book. You just pick a normal coloring book, right? Or you can use an iPad, whatever it is, but express your feelings, right? Draw out with colors, express yourself with words. You can even write poems or write something down, but it is this idea of giving your feelings a voice, giving your feelings a life, right? Instead of like dismissing our feelings and repressing them, right? It's important that we give them a voice, right? And they can be beautiful. I have this, I'm going to link a video down below. This creator on YouTube, she has you like connect with the fear that you have, like your ego, and express out those fears and transform it. Write some affirmations, and I'll link the video down below. It's very helpful. I did it. It's just the idea again of connecting with your emotions, which is very important, which you have been doing, right? You're pouring into yourself. But just another message that this next chapter will be very important for you to do that as well and continue expanding on that. Okay, sorry, I just messed up all these things. And let's get into your spiritual expansion. All right, group 4, messages about your spiritual expansion. And we got Ace of Cups again in the reverse. So 2 different decks. Ace of Cups, very important. And we'll pull an Oracle card. Spiritual expansion. And we got I am a problem solver. Capricorn. Okay. This is just confirming everything I had said, but for your spiritual expansion, you are learning to, let's pull this up. Ace of Cups is all about self-love. And since we are talking about this in the context of spiritual expansion, it's also connecting with your intuition, but also your spirit guides, right? Your spirit team. This mermaid, right? Emotions, it's intuition. The tail is connecting with the intuition, and it's informing her, I'll say her, informing her on her next choices, right? You want to feel very lit up, right? You want to feel inspired. You want to feel supported when you're making decisions. And for your spiritual expansion, you're coming to realize that yes energy again. Like Ace of Cups is all about yes. Your spiritual expansion, it's that idea again of pivoting toward your yes. You're coming into realizing that all your choices that you're making, when you don't feel good, when you feel something's off, when you feel something's constricted, you're realizing that that's not the path to go, right? And again, there's no right or wrong, remember, just aligned. And you're realizing that there's different paths. And that is perfectly illustrated here in I am a problem solver. Like, look, there's a maze, right? And to get to the end, there are multiple ways to go. right? And you're realizing that if you're going a certain way and it doesn't feel good, you can just pivot away and go somewhere else, right? You don't have to force yourself to walk a certain path when it doesn't feel good for you. It means it's not aligned. It's this idea again of slowly pivoting toward that inspiration, slowly pivoting toward that yes energy, slowly pivoting toward those paths that light you up and staying in that vibration, right? You want to stay in the vibration where you feel lit up all the time, right? Where you feel like you're in this dreamlike state, right? Where you're feeling really inspired and creative. Yes, everything is just confirming one after the other. All right, let's look at your relationships. So I broke this down into platonic and romantic because whenever I have it together, it's like there's multiple threads of energy that you have to read. And for some of the groups, it was separate, but some of them had similar messages. So we'll see how this one is. So we'll read first for your platonic, familial relationships, just messages about this next chapter for group 4. And we have the 5 of coins. And we'll pull an oracle card. Okay. Hope. Oh, beautiful. Hope. Look at that. Okay. So it does look like that in this next chapter, it is this idea that it does look like you are contemplating and reevaluating the energies that you let around you, right? It's like, we are the sum of the 5 people that we most spend the most time with, right? And since you've been working on self-love and coming into this and, prioritizing yourself and your feelings more, it is this idea that you are coming to understand how you feel when you're connected with people around you, right? It's like this, this ice queen, right? This is what it's based on, ice queen. It's like the inner child is here and they're protecting the inner child, right? The inner child is looking at this gold coin and understanding like how it feels, and the ice queen's protecting the inner child. And I feel like that's what you're doing in your platonic familial relationships. You're protecting your energy more, you're protecting who you are more, and you're really listening to your feelings and whether or not you feel really inspired and happy and supported to be around these people, right? And you're looking at yourself a little bit differently too. Maybe before you saw yourself as a specific role, right? Maybe you were a caregiver, a supporter. Maybe you thought you had to do this, and that to be in the dynamic, to be in their friendship. And now you're reconstructing and changing the way you view yourself, right? How you see yourself in relationships. And because you are, though, because you are connecting with this, because you are getting more intentional with where you're spending your time and energy, because you are reevaluating the people that are around you, it's like your relationships start to feel lighter. They start to feel richer, right? They start to feel stronger. It's like you're able to deepen the connections with the people that really matter to you, right? The people that really support you. You're focusing more on those connections that really support and enrich you, right? And you're letting go of the ones that don't. When we start letting go of the energies that don't serve us, when we stop giving those our attention, we can focus them on the energies that make us feel really hopeful, right? The ones that literally make us feel like we're shining. Now, this looks a little more romantic, but we're talking about familial and platonic in this one. But the stars aligned, right? These are your soulmate connections, your soul family. You feel like you can support each other and, build something together because you're no longer giving your attention and energy to the people that make you feel cold and small, like an outcast, right? The Ice Queen, or it makes me think of Elsa too. It's like people feared her, right? They didn't understand her. they're a little afraid, right? And for the Ice Queen, she was shunned, right? You're walking away from those types of people, the ones that make your inner child feel small, right? You're moving more towards those people that make you feel inspired and sparked and lit up, right? You like their spark. I was thinking of House Moving Castle, right? You like each other's spark, and you spark each other. All right, let's look at your romantic relationships. This is romantic, sexual, whatever is not platonic, whatever that means for you, right? Everyone's dynamics are different, and everyone's relationships look different, so whatever makes sense for you. All right, group 4 is romantic, sexual relationships. Group 4 is romantic, sexual relationships. Okay. So we have the 6 of Coins in reverse. We have fun and effort. Oh, great. I don't know why I thought weirdly. Anyway, it just, never mind. Anyway, so this is what I was saying already, but this is specific to your romantic and sexual, but for your relationships coming in, the romantic and sexual, for this next chapter, you are paying attention to energy exchange. The 6 of Coins specifically, there's this figure, feminine figure, and, whatever she's creating, she's getting something in return, right? She's creating strawberries, she's sweeping, she's doing all these tasks. And in exchange, she's getting rewarded, right? There's an energy exchange. She does these things. In exchange, she gets these coins, right? This is all about energy exchange. And so for your romantic sexual partnerships, you are paying more attention to this exchange. What is it that you value in a relationship, and what is it that you want to contribute, right? It's this idea of, if you ever heard of, there can be a really selfless person, right? They give and give. They may support someone. They may, cook them meals. They may support them emotionally. They may initiate hangouts. They might say hey, I'm thinking of you, and they offer all of these places, situations, and bring, others out. And that's just who they are, right? I feel like in your past, it's this idea this was unequal. You were doing these things for your partner, and your partner wasn't doing the same, right? And there was an unequal balance, right? And, some people may say well, hold back then, don't do as much. But for me, that doesn't feel right, right? It doesn't feel good to constrict yourself. If it doesn't feel good, it's not aligned. What's more important is discerning, right? Be yourself, express yourself how you naturally are, your fully loving self, but discern who gets to be around you, right? Discern who gets to be in your inner circle, because when you have another person that's selfless like you, when you have another person that's loving and generous like you, there isn't a problem, right? You both get exchanges. You don't have to hold yourself back. You don't have to change yourself or restrict yourself because the people you've been meeting have been more on the, about them side. I try not to say selfish, but they've thought more about themselves, right? They're not as giving. They're not as loving. They're not as supportive. This is this message of, in your romantic sexual relationships, you can be your giving and supportive and loving self, because you're going to discern who is around you, because you are going to make sure that the people that you're doing this with are also similar to you, right? You deserve what you're putting in. And it is a message that you are going to find people like that, because we have the fun hot air balloons, right? Well, so with this, it is going to get steamy. So some of you are going to have a nice little steamy thing, because, hot air balloons, you use heat, right, to pull up the balloon. But when I saw this, I was like, okay, someone's getting watered with things. Not I was thinking showers, anyway. But, it says effort, right? The romantic people and sexual dynamics, whatever makes sense for you, these people are going to be showing you the same effort that you put in, right? You are watering the relationship, and they're going to water it back. Anyway. And it's going to be really fun. It's going to be really playful, right? This isn't about being serious, right? You're going to find people that really connect and inspire you. You're going to have fun together. You're going to feel creative. It's going to feel nostalgic a little bit. It's you can just let your hair down and have fun, whatever that expression is, and just be yourself and be silly. But also, both of you are going to be putting in the effort, right? It's you're not going to have to tell this person how to water the relationship. Like, yes, you have to tell them like what makes you feel loved and, happy. You're going to do that for yourself, but it's important we express our feelings. But it's more like when you have two people that takes care of a plant, they're both paying attention to it, right? They're both going to see if the soil is dry, the soil is wet, if it needs to be watered. They're both going to compliment the plant and talk to the plant, right? You're both plant people. You don't have to be, but that's just the analogy, right? It's not just gonna be one person telling the other person, oh, can you water that once a week? Oh, can you check that, right? You're not telling them. Both of you are paying attention, right? Both of you are very intentional. And that's what this message is. You don't have to keep telling someone what to do to help the relationship. Both of you are going to be paying attention and making in your own effort. And that's great. That's beautiful. And if you haven't had that yet, then this is coming, and I'm excited for you. Okay, let's take a closing message from my herbiary deck. I'll be reading from the guidebook from this one. This is just closing messages from your spirit team regarding this next chapter in your life. Okay, closing messages for spirit team. Ooh, we have a spoonful of sugar. Marshmallow. I was going to say marshmallow. Marshmallow. I love that. This cake, while it looks amazing, is on these pillows. It's like a very comfy and cozy vibe, and it's just like balancing on the pillows. I'm excited to read this. Okay, 104. Okay. There's nothing Marshmallow would love more than to spend time in your kitchen. She'll lean over your shoulder, offering suggestions for adorning your salads and thickening your soups. There's no reason for foul-tasting anything, including medicine, declares the grand dame of dessert. She should know, having been at it since around 2000 BC, Egypt, dear, she'll tell you, a lovely place. I fed pharaohs and gods. But Marshmallow's not one to dwell in the past. She takes too much joy in bringing ease to the present. And there's much work to do. Digestion these days. She tisks as she sets about creating her latest confection. Call on Marshmallow when you need to soften and rediscover sweetness. Marshmallow's magic is to soften and soothe. When the edges of life are too much, when you feel raw and scraped, picture Marshmallow growing in the moist soil of a wetland. Water eddying gently, softening hard earth and loosening what's been stuck. What can Marshmallow help you soften? What rough edges are rubbing at your spirit? Marshmallow is not scared of processes. She knows sometimes there are many steps to a recipe, and that the best flavors are created in layers, step by slow step. Yes, that is a beautiful reminder. As you're in this energy of rest, of harvesting, pouring into yourself, and paying attention to the energies around you, that is like the softening of the edges, right? Paying attention to what doesn't feel good, right? Paying attention to the no's in your life and softening them. What will make them a yes, right? Or pivot toward your yes. That was a perfect little summary there. All right. Well, group 4, that are all the messages that I have for you. Thank you so much for connecting with me. If anything resonated for you, please let me know in the comments so I know how it worked out in your life. And I would love connecting with your energy as I read for the collective readings in the future. So please continue subscribing, like, or comment. And as always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'm sending you warm wishes and soothing hums.